Welcome to the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. Your adventure into the world of comic book movies starts here.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. My name's Travis, and we got something a little bit different today. While we're still on hiatus, while Patrick moves house, I gathered some folks together, and we put together a script read of the unmade Spider-Man from 1994. Now, this script was written by Barry Cohen and Ted Newson and James Cameron. This would be the second revision by Joseph Goldman and James Cameron and John Brancato. We had a lot of fun recording it. We got Rob O'Connor as Spider-Man Peter Parker, Niall McGowan as Dr. Otto Octavius. We had Megan Coleman as Liz Allan and Professor Thorkel, Alex Thompson Forte as Harry Osborn and Professor Rosamorph, as well as Aunt May. We had Jonathan Howell as Uncle Ben and J. Jonah Jameson. I played Otto's assistant, Wiener, and Flash Thompson. And last but not least, we had George Hendricks on exposition and narration. So without further ado, here is Spider-Man.
Fade in. Interior, Professor Ock's private physics laboratory, the cyclotron room. Credit sequence, day. A mighty warning klaxon assaults our ears. A flashing red warning light stabs our eyes. Several dials go into the red. A hand pushes aside a yellow thermos and pushes forward a red power throttle. We hear the winding up of a cyclotron. A digital dial climbs to 5% power. A spider crawls across the dial. Begin opening credits. The cyclotron room is an old basement full of peeling paint and plumbing wrapped with tape. Leaks are here and there. Cobwebs are all around. Dr. Otto Octavius, Ock, is a strong but strange featured man in his mid-50s. His assistant, Wiener, hovers nearby looking on. He's open-mouthed with a mindless kind of curiosity. Wiener is a small-time hood hired by Ock to circumvent the school administration and to procure whatever Ock needs for his experiments. He shades his eyes against a searing blue-white beam that erupts from the window. The room is divided into a control room and the experiment chambers.
Whoa. What's that?
With a whoosh, the window explodes, showering the two with shards of glass and throwing them to the floor.
We begin again. Let's kick in that new transducer. See if we can double the power. Output.
Whoa, Doc. Wait a minute.
But Doc is already at the throttle. The cyclotron whirls up, the lights go on, louder, brighter than before. Ock looks through the broken window into the experimental chamber. The power dial inches upward. 8, 9. The blue-white light is blinding now. The whine pitch is shattering. End opening credits.
Okey, dokey.
The power dial hits 10. Exterior, Empire State University, day. As students go on to class, the sound of the cyclotron spills out of the Science Center onto the grounds of the Empire State University. We see Peter Parker, a pleasant-faced senior who's among the top of his class. Sincere and serious, he has yet to develop a way with women.
Hiya, Peter.
Liz Allan is also a senior. She is beautiful and intelligent.
Hiya, Liz. How are you doing?
How I'm doing what?
Peter, wait up.
Harry is the school nerd, a quirky kid who, like Peter, can be a little awkward around girls, especially pretty ones like Liz.
Would you, excuse us for a minute?
Despite Peter's protesting body language, Harry pulls him away like a conspirator.
What is it? What?
Did the Astrophysics Journal really accept your paper?
Yeah, well, all I got's the data, but they've agreed to publish it when it's finished. You know, it's my calculation on the planetary conjunction.
And its influence on the anti-force, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Harry, I'm busy with...
Yeah, you and the rest of the class. Everyone is busy with Liz.
Peter.
A hand reaches in and smacks her bottom.
Hiya, cupcakes.
Flash.
They kiss and walk away.
And Flash is the busiest of them all.
Come on, Harry. We'll be late for Octavius.
Harry makes a gesture dismissing Ock as crazy.
Ock is nuts, don't you agree?
Ock is a genius, Harry. Crazy, yes, but a genius misunderstood and unappreciated.
Interior cyclotron area hallway, day. It is a basement hallway full of lockers which students are banging open and shut as they pull stuff in and take stuff out. In their midst, a man is banging on the door marked Cyclotron Room authorized personnel only. Professor Rosamorph, 60-ish, respectable, a good old-fashioned professor. He's the head of the physics department. With him is Alexander Thorkel, a 40-ish waspish school administrator. For a scientist as crazily focused as Ock, Thorkel is a natural enemy.
Dr. Octavius, you're late for your lecture. The students are waiting. Dr. Octavius!
Your friend is impossible, Professor Rosamorph. I told the board we should let him go.
The light above Thorkel's head explodes. Then all the lights behind him explode in succession. Thorkel and Roz look amazed.
What's he doing in there? Not his crazy experiment again.
You mean his anti-force theory? One day they'll give him the Nobel Prize for it.
Meanwhile, he is demolishing our university. Octavius! Open the door!
Interior Ox Lab.
The anti-force experiment has now reached the limit of electronic overload safety. Therefore, Wiener, you will disconnect the overload safety device.
4 Waldos, 3-fingered snake-like mechanical arms, suddenly thrust themselves into the chamber and begin working, each at a different task. Ock is an acknowledged master manipulating these Waldos. He flicks a switch and a searing blue-white beam lances down from focusing cone and strikes a gram weight marked 1 million, illuminating it and fulfilling our ears with a splitting buzz tone. The knock on the door grows louder. Wiener comes up behind Ock.
Whoa, Doc. Someone's at the door.
World-class scientific mind, and they stick me in the basement with this third-rate cyclotron.
The dial marked relative gravity reads 1 million, but suddenly it snaps to 0.999999.
Okey dokey.
The weight begins to jiggle, and for an instant it appears to lift ever so slightly. Interior College Physics Lab, day. This is an enormous room, 100 lab tables. The yellowing smoke of 1,000 experiments hangs in the air. A huge American flag dominates the back wall. Harry, Peter, and Liz set up on their tables. Flash reads the Daily Bugle sports section. Peter can't take his eyes off Liz. When she looks back, he looks down at his gear.
What is it, Peter?
It's nothing.
Interior, Ox Lab. Wiener opens the door and sees Roz and Thorkel waiting impatiently.
Yes, gentlemen. Can I help you?
Tell your boss that his class is waiting.
You better tell him yourself.
Thorkel looks at Roz, who waves his shoulder. Then both call.
Professor Octavius!
Professor Ock turns and looks at the bewildered men.
Gentlemen,
Man and woman.
calm. You must see this.
But your students...
The imbeciles can wait. I have better things to do than to teach introductory physics, Rosamorph. Undergrads are kindless adolescents.
You see, he's impossible.
Thorkel, you are the dumbest administrator our university has ever had. Don't go, Thorkel. Come. Look.
He starts to play his machine handles and buttons.
The university pays you to teach something to your students.
Interior College Physics Lab, day.
Well, do you mean nothing, or do you mean something, but you won't tell me what it is?
I mean plain nothing.
Well, I guess that's about as nothing as you can get. Plain nothing.
Liz!
A beat. Sorry.
A beat.
Liz!
Ah, it is something.
No, look!
The equipment on her table is starting to vibrate. They look at it curiously. We hear the cyclotron's whine begin to build. Interior cyclotron room, day. Everything is shaking like an earthquake. Roz and Thorkel seem to glance at their place going crazy with anger and surprise. The whine is deafening. The light is blinding. Wiener has his eyes closed and his hands over his ears.
I am going for 20% power.
No, don't do that!
Ock, it's dangerous.
Ock, I warn you.
Wiener crosses himself. The console erupts in sparks. Interior electrical conduit montage, day. We follow the electrical overcharge as it crackles along the wires and cables inside the walls and floors. It is making its way up to the lab. Interior lab, day. All the kids are now trying to hold on to their vibrating equipment. The charge crackles up a wire and erupts at Liz's table. A beaker explodes in flames. There's an outburst of ad-libs.
Fire! Everybody out! Oh my God!
The humanity.
Thorkel comes running out. He is shabby and bewildered, seeing Liz trapped behind the fire, which is growing from second to second.
Keep calm, everyone. Keep calm. Use the front door. Everybody out the front.
Liz, come on!
I can't. Help me.
I'm coming!
He wades into the fire, but is beaten back by the flames. His sleeve is on fire. He pats it out.
Peter!
Flash appears and tries to help, but Thorkel stops him.
Get back, you idiots. You can't go in there.
Liz smashes at the window, but this is an inner city school, and the windows are covered by steel gates. Liz wraps her fingers in the gate.
Help! Help me!
Outside the window, the air is clear and people come and go. Some are stopping to look up at the girl on the second floor who screams, but they can't hear, of course, down at them as the flames close in behind her. Peter comes flying into the fire extinguisher. He fumbles with it. Flash pushes Thorkel, grabs the extinguisher away from him with a scowl of disdain. Liz turns to face the flames. Suddenly there is an eruption of CO2 clouds and the roar of a fire extinguisher. The flames are beaten down enough for her to leap out. Flash is there, holding the extinguisher. People cheer.
Thanks for your help, Flash.
No problem, wimp.
Our hero has a real way with words.
Oh, why don't you grow up?
Peter is stung, insulted, turns away. Rosamorph peeps in, worried, faces Thorkel.
This man will bring a disaster upon this university.
Ock comes in, starts his lecture calmly as if nothing has happened.
The universe is made up of forces and counter forces. Science is the study of the forces.
Flash hands the extinguisher to Peter. Liz embraces Flash, throwing a glimpse at Peter, who tried so bravely. He looks away and turns the last of the fire extinguisher on the last of the fire.
But I, Professor Otto Octavius, have devoted my life to the study of the counter forces. Good job, Peter.
Thanks, Professor.
Thorkel has walked away slowly and uncomprehendingly towards the front of the huge lab. He simply cannot believe Ock's behavior.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Can we carry on, Mr. Thorkel?
I don't believe... All right, carry on, Professor.
Well, this week, my dear students, I have made a stunning breakthrough.
Wait a minute. You've got fire forms to fill out, Dr. Octavius.
I have no time for forms or for administrators who persist in interrupting me, Mr. Thorkel.
Thorkel steams out and bangs to shut the door.
I now believe it's possible that these counter forces can be collected. The way the magnifying glass collects the sunlight and focused into a hard beam I call Wiener.
Wiener backs away from the blackboard to reveal a word that Ock has scrawled in large letters. It says, anti-force.
I call it the anti-force.
Ock is plugging a huge cable into a small lucite box with a silver ball inside it.
This anti-force, once harnessed, is capable of undoing any natural force at which it is aimed. For instance, gravity.
Liz scrabbles down a note and mouths the word, gravity? She turns to Peter.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Ock is playing his computer like the Phantom of the Opera at the organ.
We patent the cyclotron. The lights flicker and go dim. Pay no attention to the lights. I, of course, steal its energy, and it loses power. We patch in the cyclotron, and we gradually apply power. The power that I am stealing.
As the whine builds in the lab, Ock peers through the lucite box at us, distorted by it. The box is a miniature version of the cyclotron's experimental chamber, and now the blue-white glow emits emits and begins. It crackles around the silver ball.
And so we stand, foursquare against the fundamental force that orders and maintains our universe, gravity, which is holding down this goddamn ball. Rise.
The lights go totally dark. The kids react with whoops and catcalls.
Ooh.
Hey, it's dark in here.
What a crock.
Shut up, Harry. This is very interesting.
Mr. Parker, have you some interesting observation you'd like to share with the class?
No, sir.
Then shut up and pay some attention to the experiment.
Ock peers at us through the lucite box as the silver ball begins to rise. Ock's face is ecstatic.
Rise. Rise.
The silver ball suddenly shoots up, shattering the top of the box. It flies up to the ceiling where it shatters a light fixture. The shards rain down on Ock, who reaches out and catches the falling ball and scales it in a raised fist.
Now that's what I call an experiment.
The cyclotron wind cuts out and Ock wheels to the computer. He hits a key and several color projection beams lance out of the back of the room. They pierce the smoke and light a projection display in the front. 2 colored spheres, one yellow, one blue, touch where their circumferences meet. Behind them is a black depiction of space.
You are looking at a representation of 2 universes. Our blue one was real universe, something we can touch and feel and see and draw calculations about. This is us. The yellow universe. This is something else. Some other dimension. Something on the other side.
Ock hits another computer key and a hole appears where the 2 spheres touch. The blue and the yellow marbleize with each other. The colors swirl and both spheres are bright green.
If it were possible to generate enough power behind it, the anti-force could wipe out not just gravity, but all our universal forces at the same time. In effect, it would blast a hole between this universe and the next. Each would flow into each other. No blue universe, no yellow. End. Finished. Over.
That sounds like a scenario for the end of the world.
My girl, it is. It is. It would mean wiping out everything that's known and letting in everything that's unknown.
Isn't that a little dangerous?
Don't worry yourself. True interdimensional penetration is still purely theoretical. But one day, maybe very near, maybe in the 21st century.
Interior basement hallway day. Peter, Liz, Flash, and Harry all take books from their lockers.
Look, it's just, I don't know, when you and Flash go after each other like that.
He's not my type.
He doesn't have to be.
Check.
And besides, he's not all that bad.
Peter looks at Flash, who's a few lockers down. Flash has taken a football from his locker and is spinning it on his finger with great joy and concentration.
You don't get nicknamed Flash because you're a rocket scientist, Liz.
Give it up, Parker. You die for a nickname like Flash.
Yeah, of embarrassment.
Kim comes by and leans seductively on her locker. Kim is a ripe one and hot, hot, hot.
Hey, Flash. I'm scalping a pair of Midnight Madness wrestling match tomorrow night.
The Slammies? I'd kill for that.
Would you pay $125?
Well, can I tell you tomorrow?
You snooze, you lose. Hiya, Liz.
Kim, you know Peter and Harry? This is my new roommate, Kim Nixon.
Kim is pulling her pet, a foot-long salamander, out of her locker. She wraps it around her neck and turns to the boys. They go bug-eyed.
Hello, Peter.
Hi.
We're going to the student reunion meeting. You coming?
Peter looks at Kim. Wow. Then he looks at Liz, who's adjusting herself at a small mirror. Harry jabs him in the ribs. Yeah.
I can't. I gotta go over to the Daily Bugle. I'm trying to sell some photos.
So, a photographer?
Just an amateur. Well, nice meeting you, Kim.
Yeah, I bet it would be.
Can I be your date for the reunion, Shoo-Shoo?
No jerk!
What did I say?
It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Shoo!
Everyone leaves and Harry is left alone. He throws his bag down.
Damn.
Peter turns to go and comes face to face with the hulking wiener.
Peter, Doc Ock wants to see you.
About my data, I bet.
I don't know.
He knows about my work on the planetary conjunction, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Interior control room, day. Peter enters wide-eyed behind Wiener. This place is a far cry from the experiment in the lab room. It's a fantastic netherworld to which no undergrad gains entrance. No one but Peter. Ock is sitting in a swivel chair with his back to Peter. He has a look of Captain Nemo in his Nautilus. This is Ock's domain.
Hello, Professor Octavius. I really admired your experiment.
We have a lot of interest in common, Peter. Perhaps we should put our heads together, if you know what I mean.
That would be great.
Now, you take the planetary conjunction. This Saturday night, we will witness Saturn, Jupiter, the Moon, the Earth, the Sun, all in a row. Never seen within the memory of man or measured for its effect. The total gravitational force must be quite exceptional. Isn't that the subject of your paper?
Yes, sir. I've worked out a new way to calculate the combined gravitational effect.
I'm a busy man, Mr. Parker, but I think I could find the time to go over it with you. Make sure it all checks out.
Well, I'm sort of working with Professor Rossomorph, and he suggested we kind of keep it between us. He thinks that my theory is, well, I don't know.
This scoundrel. I want to see that data, Peter.
But, Professor Octavius, if I knew you were interested... Sorry, I've already given it to Professor Rossomorph, and he is, after all, the head of our physics department, and I couldn't...
Ock turns sweet again. He smiles too broadly.
Well, I'm certain something can be worked out. Run along, young man.
Peter begins to leave.
Just a minute. How about if I show you my discoveries? Something I never show to any other student or, as a matter of fact, to anybody at all.
Well, I'm really flattered. I mean, I'd love to, but...
Very well. Shall we say if you come back here tonight?
But, Professor, I don't know if I should.
Make it 8 sharp. I'll be here waiting for you. Right here.
Peter looks worried, then leaves. Ock turns to Wiener, who slouches against the wall, smiling.
The same academic world that's so keen to embrace that boy's undergraduate work ridicules my anti-force theory as quackery. I ask you, Wiener, what is our society coming to? Ha!
They're all a bunch of brainless assholes. That's what I say.
Wiener, go get me that boy's data.
Cost you $50.
Just get it. We'll negotiate your fee when you have the data. All right, Wiener?
Exterior, Daily Bugle, day. Established as Art Deco building well beyond its prime. A sign says, The Daily Bugle. Peter enters the building.
Garbage! Absolute 100% garbage!
Interior, Jameson's office, day. Very 40s, very messy. J. Jameson scans some photos as Peter stands helplessly by.
Bag ladies. I hate bag ladies.
Yes, sir.
Jameson is 50-ish, gray with the temples, brush cut on top. He too is 40s. His chewed up cigar is 40s. That guy is a hard case.
Little kids. I hate little kids. This is a daily newspaper. We need news value photographs, not artsy fartsy shit.
Yes, sir.
Jameson comes to a picture of a business-suited man with a mohawk. Peter smiles in anticipation.
Kid, you want a prose assignment?
Yes, sir.
Your photos suck. Parker, my readers are morons. I gotta grab them by the eyes. Every time you press the button of that Nikon of yours, it costs you 55 cents. So the next thing you're about to take the plunge, ask yourself, am I taking Dog Bites Man? Because if you are...
I know. You want Man Bites Dog.
Parker, this is the postmodern 20th century. I want Man Bites Dog. Get out!
Exterior, street, day. A seedy East Village walk-up. Peter takes his camera and takes various photos of a wino.
Jeez.
All in. He climbs the stairs to his building. He looks through the mail. He collects from a beaten down mailbox.
Rent, more bills, rent, electricity, bills.
Interior, Peter's apartment, day. A one-room, shabby roof apartment, a chaos of books and papers, a photo enlarger and darkroom baths in the kitchen, pots, 8x10 tacked up to the walls, a spare camera and lenses, self-consciously wacky kitsch, plastic dinosaurs, wind-up toys, a stuffed carp, an unmade bed, and a 50s dinette set, the only furniture. A grimy skylight leads to the roof. It's not a pretty place, but it has personality. A voice in the kitchen, a shadow of an intruder, is sneaking around.
There's nothing in there worth stealing.
That's the understatement of the year.
Aunt May, you're trespassing.
I was just so desperately bored, I thought I'd come over and make you dinner.
I'm old enough to make my own.
But I didn't feel like getting to know your roaches.
Let me introduce you.
Oh, and those foul chemicals in the pots.
I take pictures, remember?
Anyway, I've decided to kidnap you for dinner in Forest Hills.
She grabs her coat, crosses back to Peter, and tugs on his shoulder.
It's Friday night.
Yes. Do you have a date?
No.
Then come on.
Interior, large computer lab, night. In this dark and empty space, it is dark and empty except for computers. Sitting at it, is lit by the glow of its screen, is Solomon Rosamorph, Roz. As he works, a door opens behind him. Someone walks quietly through the lab. Rosamorph keeps working. The intruder approaches.
Professor Rosamorph, what happened here?
Someone tried to rob me of some paper. I suspect they were looking for that one.
What is it?
Award-winning stuff. Peter Parker's data on the planetary conjunction. Damn lucky I had it hidden in my computer under another title.
My God, what's going on in our school? First, Professor Octavius almost blows up the physics lab. Now this. You reported in triplicate, of course.
Thorkel, be careful when you talk to Octavius. Remember, the man is a very fragile genius. One day he'll bring us all the Nobel Prize.
Rosamorph, the man is a very dangerous crackpot.
Off-screen, the voice of the cyclotron wine begins to build.
That's him again. He's working day and night.
I tell you, the man is very dangerous. The wine grows louder. Come on, Rosamorph, let's stop him before this building will explode.
Interior cyclotron room, night. Ock and Wiener are at work as before. Ock takes no notice of the two men who come in, nor the worker who comes in behind them and sets to work attaching a big lock to the door.
Shut it down, Octavius!
Ock ignores him. Wiener touches Ock's shoulder. Ock ignores him too.
You've blown half the circuits in the science center.
Call an electrician.
I have called the locksmith.
What? What is he doing?
He points towards the worker who's working on the lock on the main door.
We have to shut your lab down and take a look at all the lines.
Please, Otto, we must lock it up.
You're denying me access to my cyclotron?
You bet.
Ock glares back and forth between the two men, the worker and Wiener. He then pulls back the red power throttle. The wine descends. The Waldos pull back and dangle from the panel. The wine dies.
Okay, dokey. Just give me till tomorrow. I want to clean up my papers. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, you can have this room.
Oh, well, Thorkel, few more hours won't make a difference.
I hope.
He signals to the worker to stop. Interior apartment of Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Night. The New York Mets are playing baseball on TV. Peter watches with his Uncle Ben, a paunchy 65-year-old in polyester slacks and a comfy old sweater. A New York Mets cap is perched on Ben's head. A beer can is in his hand. A cluttered but familiar living room sprawls comfortably around them.
Another brewski?
Sure, Uncle Ben.
Okay, sure. Here you go. Oh yeah, way to go. Yeah, get it, Mets. You don't follow the Mets like you used to, do you, Pete?
No, not so much anymore.
Funny, when your mom and dad passed away, I had this idea. I wanted to be the best baseball player that ever was. Gee, oh, wait, I'm going to go back. I wanted you to be the best baseball player that ever was. Jeez, whatever happened to that?
Little League.
Yeah, Babe Ruth, you wasn't.
Aunt May enters.
It's on the table. Turn off the TV.
Ben nods, rises sluggishly and slowly, and turns the sound off only. Peter
Go
moves
Mets!
towards his aunt in the doorway.
How's that girl you told us about, Peter?
Liz, she's great. But she has a boyfriend.
Interior, the dining room, night. Peter passes Aunt May and takes his seat.
A boy your age should have a girlfriend.
And May, she has a steady boyfriend.
Peter, any girl that's worth your attention is of course going to have a boyfriend. But if she really gets to know what you have to offer, she'll... You get my drift?
Look, just leave him alone, okay? When he's ready for girls, he'll be a holy tail. Go Mets! Yeah! It's in his blood. Look. How are you gonna how you fix for money, Pete? Maybe I can help you out a little.
No, I'm all right. My scholarship covers almost everything, and I sell some photos here and there. Today, my physics professor asked for some of my work. He wants to study my data. They might publish my work in the science magazine. That'll bring me some money.
Publish your work. You hear that, May?
Yeah, in fact, I've got to leave a little early tonight to meet Professor Octavius. He offered me to be his assistant.
Whoa! Did you hear that, May?
Oh, Peter, you promised you'd spend
Go
the
Mets!
night.
I can't, Aunt May. Professor Octavius wants to discuss my new findings.
Peter, what you should be finding is a nice girlfriend.
Terrible call.
Get off my
Interior,
queso,
basement,
lady.
cyclotron room, night. Wiener is eating a large sandwich and drinking a Coke.
I'll show them. Closing the cyclotron on me. Wiener!
Yes, Professor?
Where is he? It's 8:10.
A knock.
That must be him.
He opens the door.
Good evening.
You are late. Wiener, go outside and get us something to eat. And don't steal it. Just buy it. I'll reimburse you.
You want anything, Parker?
No, thank you. I just had dinner at my aunt's.
Piss off, Wiener.
Wiener leaves. Peter wanders around. He goes into the experimental chamber. He overlooks the spider, which is scuttling away, and crawls inside the open window and into the chamber.
Okey dokey, Parker. How would you like to take Wiener's place? I mean, be my assistant.
Well, Professor, that would be a great honor, but I'm already working with...
Rosamorth, that imbecile. Don't you understand, kid, that I am about to uncover the greatest discovery since Einstein came up with his theory of relativity? The anti-force.
Wow. The theory of the force. You should go for the Nobel Prize, Professor.
Noble Smobel. I am going for a much bigger prize, kid. Okie dokie. Let me show you, kid, what I got here.
Off begins the experiment. We move in past the shattered window. We see the spider crawling on the chamber's gear.
Present maximum anti-force power to date is 38% of theoretical limit. I have patched in the variable particle wave accelerator. I will now try to reach 50% power. And if your paper has any value, I can use it to get the power I'm missing to create the anti-force, to break through and beat any other form of power in our or any other universe. Capiche?
I'm sorry, Professor, I can't do it. I gave my word to Professor Rossomorph.
Ock is angry. Ock now
Ah.
sees the spider. He shoots out a Waldo to try to crush it, but the spider is too fast. The Waldo slams against the wall of the chamber. He starts to push every button or switch in sight. A deafening whining starts. An urgent warning tone causes Ock to look at the relative gravity dial. It is at 4.9999 kg, but suddenly the numbers start to tumble rapidly. Insert the glowing 5 kg weight. The power dial reaches upwards, 50% power.
50%! Anti-fuse, 50%! That's all I'm missing! Parker, we can be rich together!
Sorry, I'd better go.
You'll be sorry, Parker!
Peter leaves. Another urgent warning tone causes Ock to look at the monitor screen. On it, flashing red, is the word overload. Ock pushes the red power throttle forward. The whine increases to a pulse and throb. Interior experimental chamber, night. Incredibly lit, the spider is dropping on its shimmering web strand down towards the 5 kg weight, which now glows in time with the throb and the pulse. The control room, night. The monitor is flashing. Maximum overload. Shut down. Ock continues with the experiment, and then he sees the spider.
You! Get out of here, you creeping!
He tries to shove the spider with his hand. Experimental chamber, night. Through the blue light, we can barely make out Ock on the other side of the shattered window. He sends 2 Waldos after the spider. The spider evades him and jumps onto the professor's back, then climbs to the professor's neck and bites him.
No!
The gravity dial goes to 0.0001, then pops back up as Ock's tiny world goes berserk. Dials spin, crack, explode, or drop liquidly. Wires dance on the console, which erupts like 4th of July. Ock begins to float. His shirt begins to tear away. A dial floats by with his pulled wires undulating like a Medusa. Waldos smash through the walls and flail like snakes. Ock's yellow thermos distorts and explodes. Ock, his hair wild, face locked in a multi-G grimace, is pinned halfway up the wall as it's showering the room with sparks.
It's an energy storm! Okey dokey!
We see clearly the spider still stuck to his neck. The big beast buffets and shakes. Tubes, junctions, valves, and whatnot fall off, crashing to the floor where they twitch and writhe with the life of their own. Then an enormous explosion rips a large hole in the cyclotron's side, sending debris in 100 microstreams of electromagnetic particles lancing in our direction. Ultimate weirdness! The pulsing blue-white light penetrates first the door of the cyclotron room and then the very walls. Lockers bang, lamps pop, the ceiling sags in a surreal, rubbery way. The walls sag, too. The cyclotron's side pivot and embeds itself into a wall. A ladder sinks in the wall and the blue-white light dances wildly around and pulses. Then, suddenly, it stops. Dead silence. Wiener comes running in holding a double-decker sandwich and a large bottle of Pepsi. Wiener enters Ock's lab, singing, not at first noticing what's going on. Suddenly he stops dead. A scene out of Dolly's surrealistic canvas. There are things inside of other things. Dials look like dolly watches. This place has been rippled to the max. Ox lays face up, unconscious on the floor. A Waldo across his chest. The spider is weaving its web. Camera slowly down to see Ock. Ock pipes and wires are stuck to his body. The Waldo seems to be wrapping him. He wakes up to see those mechanical arms buried in his body. They weave around him as if they were looking for prey. He tries to tear them out, but they seem to be part of his body. Like his other limbs, he screams. Suddenly Wiener sees Ock.
Professor, what happened to you? What did you...
Suddenly,
you
one
do?
of the Waldos hits him so strongly that he flies back out through the door to the corridor.
Oh my God. What happened here?
He hears the police sirens approaching. He runs away.
I better get out of here.
The long scream segues into a police siren. A cop car pulls to a halt in front of the college. Many NYPD cars are already there, along with a nuclear regulatory van, some ambulances, a van from the Environmental Protection Agency, and 2 TV vans. Roz runs across the lawn. Police struggle to hold back the crowd of press, students, and general gawkers. Jay Jameson pushes up to the front of the mob in time to see 2 cops hustle a bugle photographer back into it. The man shakes his head. Jameson throws down a cigar, stomps it, and pulls out a fresh one. Thorkel arrives to address the crowd.
There is no danger. Please go back to your dorms. I repeat, there is no danger.
Mute.
Jonathan, you're muted.
God damn it, that was a good take. Let's do it again. Spit
want
it
a
out,
sample?
Professor. The what? It's fine. Spit it out, Professor. The public wants to know.
The crowd
Who are
closes on
you?
Thorkel.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Jameson, Daily Bugle, Chief Editor. Now, what's really happening here?
There will be a press announcement in the morning, Mr. Jameson. Now, if you'll excuse me.
This elicits a flood of ad-libs. Meltdown.
I heard a
Genetic engineering. What are you making me do this? What the fucking's up with this?
Smoke's in my eyes.
I have nothing to say. There will be an announcement. Now, please go home, everybody. We must clear the grounds.
In the back of the crowd are Peter, Harry, Liz, Flash, and Kim.
You think they'll cancel classes?
They must. The whole building must be contaminated with some kind of poisonous gas.
How about nuclear contaminations?
My God. Let's beat it.
But nobody moves.
Could anyone be in there, Peter?
I don't know. Maybe Professor Octavius. He usually works late.
That nut. I bet it was all his doing.
Hey, Parker. Peter Parker.
Peter pushes forward.
Mr. Jameson, what are you doing here? What's going on?
That's for them to know and for you to find out.
But sir, they wouldn't tell us. You heard Thorkel. He said...
A press announcement tomorrow. But we must know tonight, Parker. This is your university, right?
Yes, but...
You got your camera?
Sure, but I can't...
$100 says you can.
Yes, sir.
Get inside and get me pictures. Not of Spider-Man, but get me pictures. $50.
Well, you just said 100.
70. But I want blood and gore.
See you guys.
He dashes off. Flash shakes his head in dismay at this guy.
Where is he going?
To make $50.
Exterior Science Center, night. Peter approaches a cyclone fence, keeping it low and out of sight. He leaps it like a skirmisher, but fails ignominiously in a heap. Absolutely awful. He's torn his pants and cut his leg. He moves to the side of the building. A dumpster sits next to a fire door. It's locked. As Peter mulls over his next move, the lock clicks and the door slowly opens. Peter leaps onto the dumpster and falls in. Peter lays in the garbage, pained look on his face. He rolls over and comes face to face with the wet Daily Bugle. The headlight reads, "Wave of violence, Rip City!" And he pulls himself up and peers out. He sees a uniformed guard holding the door open for 3 men in radiation suits who remove some weirdly fused objects. Then let the door swing closed. Peter stops by, inserting the newspaper in the top. Peter squeezes inside and jumps to knock out the newspaper. The door closes behind him. Skewed, strange, surreal, Peter stares at the weirdness and fumbles with his camera. He snaps off a few shots and freezes when he hears a familiar voice.
Take it easy. Take it easy with him.
Take him away and never bring him back.
Now we see Roz and Thorkel following 2 guards carrying Ocey in a stretcher. They all wear radiation suits. A Waldo sneaks out from under his sheet and hits Thorkel. As fast as lightning. He falls back. He's covered with a sheet and attached to life support equipment. Octavius moans.
What was that?
What was what?
What hit me?
What hit you?
I don't know. It was so fast.
You're going to be fine, Otto.
Peter gets off a shot and ducks into the men's room, leaving the door ajar for a peek. A Waldo slips down from the sheet. Peter's eyes go wide at the sight. What in the hell has happened here? Interior men's room. The urinals are twisted in bizarre shapes. Pipes are exposed and spout water. The mirrors look like something out of a funhouse. Peter hears the stretcher go by. Peter goes to the door of Ock's lab and cracks it. Pan up to the spider, glowing softly, dangling from a shimmering strand above Peter. As Peter looks out at the stretcher, the spider drops on its neck. He reacts by swatting it away. Bad move. The glowing spider now squats malevolently on the back of Peter's hand. He stares at it, transfixed. It bites. Ah! Peter throws the spider to the Ripley tile floor, where it scuttles unsteadily out of the door. Sweat starts to bead on Peter's face. He shakes his head to clear it. His vision becomes uncertain. He lurches against a weird sink. Peter's POV is not just uncertain, but not just fuzzy, not just moving in and out of anamorphically. It's all that.
Hey, what are you doing here, kid?
Peter turns to see a uniformed guard distorted by his crazy vision.
I feel a little funny.
Yeah, well, I ain't laughing. Get out. Get out of here.
Exterior fire door, night. It bangs open. The guard throws Peter out and then throws his backpack at him.
You get yourself over to the police lines.
Right.
Ultra
Police
woos.
lines.
Peter melds into a crowd. As in a dream, Jameson appears at his side.
Oh, hold on. Crap. Okay, Scoop, what do you got?
I got pictures of the professor in there. It's so strange in there. It's bizarre.
Have you gotten into your uncle's booze again? Good job, kid. Bizarre is what we need. Pick this up in the morning. That'll be 2 crisp $20 tucked inside.
He hurries off. Peter peers after him, and all of a sudden his vision corrects to a perfect focus. His sweat is gone. He's okay. He makes his way through the crowd to the street. We track with Peter as the meddling throng recedes behind him. He turns a corner. He hears a siren. An ambulance screeches around the corner. It nearly hits Peter, who leaps to avoid it. Exterior brick building, night. Peter's cheek is pressed against the brick. He opens his eyes and sees that he's hanging onto the side of the building like a spider. And he's 3 stories up. He looks down and sees the street 30 feet below him, and the ambulance, which he jumped over, is driving away. He tries a downward step, but a brick dislodges and crashes to the sidewalk. He takes an upward step, and then another. Tentatively at first, and then with growing confidence, he crawls to the roof of the building. At the top, he gropes for a railing and slips. He dangles 8 stories above the street. Then, with a grunt, he vaults to the roof one-handed. Peter is flat on his back, staring at the stars. He sits up and looks wonderingly at his hands. In the back of his right hand are 2 puncture wounds surrounded by a faint blue-white pulsing glow. The glow disappears.
This is weird. My God, I feel so weird.
He leaps to his feet. He flexes. Feels weird. Good weird. In fact, great weird. He tries a couple of jumping jacks, and on the 3rd jump, he soars into the air.
Very weird.
The great, bespangled New York City is his backdrop as Peter jumps and turns and does loops in the air. With the agility and tactility of a spider, Peter leaps from a railing to a wall, to a flagpole, to another wall before he lands sideways and sticks.
Very, very weird.
He leaps up the wall and lands at the edge of the roof. He looks down. No one's looking back. So, he takes a step back and leaps the alley to the next roof. Rooftop shack, night. Peter lands on it. The next roof is 7 stories up and across the street. Peter bites his lip.
Well, what the hell?
Exterior, the taller building. Backlit by a full moon, Peter somersaults to the roof of the taller building and misses the top. He sticks to the brick facade, upside down. He laughs at the moment. A window opens below and a pretty blonde in a towel sticks her head out. She looks his way with that, and all she sees is a man in a loud sport coat down the street. Never thinking to look up, she withdraws into the room. Exterior, Chelsea Street, night. The man in a loud sport coat leans up against a lamppost and lights a cigarette with a beat-up silver-plated lighter. In the lighter, he sees a reflection of Peter leaping off the taller building. He snaps around and looks up in time to see Peter make it to the next facade. Rooftop montage, night. With the uptown skyline behind him, Peter casts caution to the wind and leaps up from rooftop to rooftop. Watching from the street, the man with the loud sport coat follows Peter's progress. Peter leaps to a brownstone and lands amid the wash. He leaps up to a tenement, lands on a billboard across which says, does a bug crawl, and leaps again. He touches down to a pigeon coop and it bounds up out of the frame again. The coop owner, a Latino in an undershirt and a Yankees cap, comes running out of the coop. He's so surprised when he leaves the door open and 20 white mourning doves fly away in a furious flapping. Free at last. The Latino lets out a stream of Hispanic explicatives, complete with all the appropriately obscene gestures. Peter slides down a cable and a lamppost and swirls down the pole to a phone booth. Exterior, phone booth, night. Peter comes face to face with the man in the loud sport coat. He gives Peter his card.
You're a kid who's going places, and I'm going to point you in the right way.
Max Rice. Models, strip dancers, escort girls, blue movies?
Oops, sorry, wrong card.
Max Rice, talent management.
It's a big outfit. Got a lot of departments.
Yeah, well, why you approach me? I'm not...
Oh, yes, you are. Very talented. The three questions of show business. The three questions of show business success. 1. Do you think you possess a unique talent?
Well,
2. What are you going to do with it?
well, I don't know.
3. How much money you got in your pocket?
$10?
You invest half of that with me, and I'll make you a star.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about fame. I'm talking about fortune. I'm talking about the chance of a lifetime. How'd you like to be on MTV tomorrow night?
The real world? Me? Really?
Taxi.
It screeches to a stop. True story.
Hey!
Kid, tomorrow night, same place, same time.
How do you know I'll show up?
As the taxi roars off,
Because you want to be a star. Everybody does.
Peter pulls out a quarter and enters a phone booth. He dials.
Hello, M.A.?
Peter, what time is it? Are you all right?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, I'm fine, but listen, Auntie, the craziest thing happened to me tonight.
Interior, exterior, phone booth, Aunt May's bedroom, night. As Uncle Ben stirs fitfully.
Go Mets! Go Mets! Go Mets!
Does this have to do with a certain girl we talked about at dinner?
No, look, there was this radioactive experiment. I was poisoned.
You were what?
I was bitten by a bug.
Oh, I get it. You mean a love bug.
No, a spider.
Peter, did you at least talk to her?
Aunt May, listen to me. I got bitten on the hand by a poisonous spider.
She bit you?
No, I was in the bathroom and...
Oh, you did it in the bathroom? Peter, this is craziness. Why don't you use your bed? You're up all night. You're in the radioactive labs. You never take time to eat or sleep. Am I right?
Yes, Aunt May.
Did
Interior
you
phone
eat
booth,
something
night.
today? Did you eat something today?
Yes, Aunt May.
Okay, Peter, go back to bed and remember we love you.
Go Mets!
I love you too, you crazy old lady. And by the way, I got a mess of superpowers today.
Exit booth. He bangs the phone booth. Goes out and jumps slightly into the phone booth roof. Interior hospital operating room, night. Ock is prepped for surgery. Gowned personnel hurry about with a feverish urgency. The chief surgeon checks the sensors attached to Ock's head. 3 seasoned professionals are astonished and frightened.
Look at these brainwave readings. The mental activity is 10 times of any normal man.
Jonathan.
Sorry, I was drinking while I was doing surgery. Equipment malfunction?
Hell yeah, his. My God, and I thought I'd seen everything.
But this is beyond medicine. This is madness.
Ock lays bare-chested, face up, all 4 Waldos splayed. He's a true cyborg. Part man, part machine, part organic, part molybdenum steel.
It's so freaky.
Okay, let's stop yakking and get cracking. I want to get in at the upper thoracic. Then we'll work our way around. Hang in there, man.
Insert. The Waldo's nearest the slap moves ever so slightly. The triangular claw rotates a quarter turn and then turns back. The nurse sees it and screams.
Ah! Nurse, number 7 scalpel. Arthroscope, stand by. Readout, perimeters in progress. Let's go in. You all right?
Yeah, of course. Everything's online.
Scalpel. No, a larger one. The largest we have?
She slaps a huge one into his palm. He takes a deep breath and goes to work. Masked heads gather around him. The scalpel is poised at the end of the line where the skin meets steel. We make an incision. The instruments go crazy. Warning bells and buzzers sound.
Kill the alarms!
He's going off the chart!
A Waldo flashes around the steel leg of the operating table and clanks tight.
Mop, Mop! Sutures and clips! Hurry up!
We are losing him. Defibrillate!
A heart machinist rushed in. They worked frantically.
Zap him!
Stabilizing alpha waves.
Surgeon 2 applies the cardiac shock pads. Interior hospital room, day.
You have a visitor, Doctor.
She leaves Ock and Thorkel alone.
Octavius, I'm afraid I have bad news for you.
The cyclotron is damaged.
What used to be the cyclotron was permanently shut down this afternoon.
But my work,
Your work is a disaster! Look at yourself!
myself, I don't matter. Nobody matters anymore. To enter a new dimension, we must first destroy our own.
What are you saying?
Ock gets off his bed, throwing away his sheet, waving with his 4 Waldos and 2 arms.
Destroy life. Life is insignificant. Bags of sleepy, sluggish flesh. What would you say?
Oh my god, what are those horrible things sticking from your body?
Thorkel, if I told you that for one moment in time, I broke all the laws. For one brief, glorious moment, I broke through to the other side. I saw, I felt, I became creation.
What on earth are you rambling on about?
Destiny. My destiny. I see it all so clearly now. Universal destruction, yes. All I need is the power. Then I can destroy this illusion you call life. It is my destiny to lead us to the light.
You're a madman.
And you are a fool. I will end the universe as you know it. And in that final moment, I'll laugh my ass off while you are kissing yours goodbye.
Goodbye is right, Octavius. You're fired, sacked, canned. You are history, Dr. Octavius, and I couldn't be more pleased to be the first to tell you this good news.
Waldo shoots up and grabs Thorkel by the throat. He gasps and screams silently as the telescoping welder lifts him off his feet. He rises until his head just inches from the ceiling.
Let me down, Ock, you crazy monster, let me down!
Then Ock smiles and slams Thorkel's head through the ceiling. Plaster rains down. Thorkel's legs scissor and kick and then go limp. Ock throws his dead body under the bed and covers him with a white sheet.
Okey dokey.
Interior taxi, night. Through the window of the taxi, we see Madison Square Garden. As it pulls up, a sign reads, Midnight Madness, MTV's Rock and Wrestling Slammy Awards. The taxi comes to a stop.
MTV Wrestling?
That's the place. Pay the man.
Max Rice gets out. He's carrying a box.
Look, Mr. Rice, I'm not real interested in watching a wrestling match.
Who said anything about watching a wrestling match? You're here to win a wrestling match.
Me? You gotta be kidding.
Rice hustles Peter inside.
You hop around, you know? The way you did last night. Your opponent gets tired. He falls down. The ref counts to 3, you win. And we pick up $1,000.
Interior catacombs, Madison Square Garden, night. We could hear the crowd screaming as someone in the background as Rice leads Peter to an employee washroom and shows him the box.
Oh, MTV rocks!
You're really gonna love this.
Look, really, I don't know.
You don't have to know. I know enough for both of us. Change in there.
What is this?
A costume. Something that fits your talent. Go put it on. I'm sure you'll like it.
He slaps the box against Peter's chest and all but pushes him aside. Interior washroom, night. Peter takes the suit out of the box. It is the Spider-Man suit. He looks at it and shrugs, then begins to struggle into it. Peter's looking at himself in the mirror. He is dressed in all but the mask, and he looks terrific. He flexes, he smooths his hair, he's starting to get into it. Interior, the arena, night. Crusher Cole is destroying an opponent. Interior, the catacombs, night. Rice winces at the crowd cheers and boos.
I thought that was a good hit.
Mets suck.
I can't see the lines anymore. How do I look?
Cover your face with a mask.
Why?
Mystery, my friend. Nobody should know who you are.
Interior, the ring, night. Crusher Cole is doing a big flexing number and the crowd is going wild. There are MTV cameras and signs and banners claiming Slammies everywhere.
And now, a new challenger for the $1,000 fight. Weighing in at 150 pounds, from parts unknown, here is the amazing, mysterious, incredible Superman!
No, not Superman. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man!
The crowd boos as the slender newcomer who climbs awkwardly through the ropes. Rock
That's
music
hilarious.
blares. Twin redheads in red
Game
bikinis ring a
costume.
bell. Crusher Cole and Spider-Man circle. Cole is twice Spidey's size. Spidey spots a TV camera from the first time. He momentarily freezes. Crusher sneers the Crusher sneer. Then he charges. With the agility of a spider, Spidey leaps out of the way. Crusher comes back at him. Spidey leaps again. Bigger! The acrobatics get more and more dramatic as Crusher Cole works himself up to a theatrical rage. Taunts erupt from the crowd.
Kill the sucker, Crusher!
Spider, really getting into it now, begins playing for the cameras.
What's the matter, Crusher? You can't crush that bug?
Okay, Webface, this is it.
He misses Spidey again.
Hey, Crusher, you need an insecticide?
His blondes titter. Interior, Liz Kim's dorm room, night. Liz's side is all schoolwork. Kim's side is all rock posters and stuffed animals. Liz is curled up doing homework. Flash and Kim sit on the bed at the edge watching the Slammies on MTV.
Will you look at this Spider-Man guy? He's absolutely incredible.
Liz, get a load of his outfit. I wish I had it for a Halloween party. It's quite sexy.
Will you two shush? I'm trying to work.
Interior ring, night. The match continues in increasingly spectacular choreography. Crusher bellows at the screaming crowd, but there's no.
Can you
There's
smell what Crusher is cooking?
There's a gleam in his eye. This is it. He charges. Spidey, playing the cameras for all he's worth, leaps away, way up. But this time Crusher stops dead in his tracks. Spider-Man comes back down to a forearm smash that sends him reeling into a corner. Crusher does a flying pin. 300 pounds. Whoop! There it is. The air leaves Spidey in a rush as Crusher covers him, smothering him. The crowd goes wild.
What?
Get up. Get up.
Two.
Not realizing his own strength and panicky about being squashed, Spider-Man throws Crusher off of him and into the air, way up. Rice cheers. Spider-Man comes down and knocks Crusher for the first time.
Oh, I can see my house from here.
Crusher flies away and out of the arena, 8 rows back. The hipster sees Crusher coming at him and bolts from his seat. Crusher lands on it in between the two blondes who break into utter hysterics. Spidey, surprised at his own strength, watches Crusher land.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, history is made today. We have here the first man to win $1,000 against the mighty Crusher.
The ref raises his hands in victory. The crowd boos and debris rains down, but some in the crowd cheer wildly, recognizing the new sensation. Spider-Man steps down from the right as Rice leads the cheers.
Max, am I really going to get 1,000?
We are going to get 1,000.
Peter turns with Rice and comes face to face with Crusher Cole. 2 ominous beats.
Hi. Who are you, kid?
I'm Peter Parker.
He is Spider-Man, and I handle him. Whenever you want a rematch, call me. Next time, it's going to be 10,000. What do you say, Crusher?
Oh, look, Mr. Crusher, I'm really sorry about what happened in there. Really.
Oh well, I don't know what happened in there to me tonight. I really don't know.
I know, you lost. Big man, you lost to the amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Exterior, city street, near a hospital, day. We are tight on a New York Journal truck, and its side banner is a picture of Spider-Man's face. Headlines, "Who is he? Mega Smash hits MTV." The truck pulls away, and we see Peter, Liz, Harry, and Kim standing on the sidewalk waiting to cross. Peter is rocking on his heels and smirking.
Hey, you know who that is?
Yeah, he's some clown we saw on TV last night. Boy, does Flash think he's hot.
He does.
I love wrestling.
Wrestling is all bluff. Do you really believe this little guy in a stupid spider suit beat the Crusher?
Hey, we better rush. Visiting hours will be over soon.
Interior, hospital corridor, a room, day. The nurse leads Peter and Liz and Harry into the room.
Dr. Octavius, you have visitors. Dr. Octavius?
We hold for a beat. When Liz takes a step forward to look around, we expect the worst. But nothing grabs her. Peter sees a pile of plaster on the floor. He looks up to see the hole in the ceiling. Liz and Harry look up too. Octavius is not there.
Octavius is not here.
My God, what
Just
happened?
said that.
I better call the doctor.
You better call the police.
Because
Kim
Doc's not
screamed.
here. Oh, ah!
Interior corridor to Ock's lab, day. Ock, hiding his Waldos under a white hospital robe. He stalls until he reaches the door. Then one of his Waldos peeks out and snaps open the new locks on the door. Interior control room, night. Ock, in a white hospital robe, walks through the surreal debris. Two Waldos reach out and sense the ripples on opposite walls. He runs his hand through his hair.
What a wreck. What a useless, wasted wreck. Okey dokey. We rebuild you, my damaged darling. Bigger, better, hotter. A world-class super psychotron.
He hears a noise behind him and reacts, and there comes Wiener. Bedraggled, shuffling through the control room door, he eyeballs the incredible wreckage.
There you are, Doc. Where have you been? Oh, this place is messed up. Whoa, Doc. You look a little messed up yourself.
Where have you been, you imbecile?
I went to the wrestling.
Wrestling?
I went after the kid. You still want that Parker guy's data, don't you?
Well, did you get it?
No. I followed him, but I lost him in the crowd.
Lost him? You...
I'll find him, Maestro. I promise. Soon. Maybe by tomorrow.
So, how was the wrestling?
Fantastic. There was this new wrestler, beat the mighty Crusher. You won't believe it. A nothing of a guy calls himself a stupid name, the amazing Spider-Man. Would you believe it?
Spider-Man, huh? Well, maybe I'll just go and wrestle myself one of these days. With all my new arms, I'm sure I can beat Crusher or any other monster.
Suddenly, Ock throws out his Waldos from under his long white coat, grabs Wiener and says, lifts him up in the air, smiles cynically with cruelty.
Will I beat him, this Crusher? Will I beat him or not?
No, please. I mean, yes. You'll beat him easily. Let me down, please. I'll do anything for you.
The Parker data. Get me the Parker data. You hear?
Exterior, Peter Parker's rooftop, day. A camera is mounted on a tripod facing us. The timer winds down and it clicks. Reverse angle. Camera's POV. Spider-Man is clinging to the side of the wall.
And one like this, and one looking real sincere.
The white eyes narrow to a slit. Click. Suddenly he spots Wiener climbing onto his roof. He hides. Wiener tiptoes into the roof apartment. Spider-Man jumps in and grabs him.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for Peter Parker.
Oh, right. So why not use the front door?
Spider-Man throws him back onto the roof so that he almost slides over the edge. Wiener turns, facing Spider-Man.
Hey, I know you.
You do?
I saw you crushing the Crusher.
You like wrestling?
Spider-Man jumps and reaches Wiener.
I love it. You are the best wrestler I've ever seen. Please don't hurt me.
Spider-Man picks up Wiener, throws him to an antenna above the building, to which Wiener clings desperately. Spider-Man circles the antenna.
Oh, please don't kill me. Please help me down.
Of course I'll help you down. I am Spider-Man, the good guy, am I not?
Yes, you are.
Spider-Man jumps up to the chimney, picks Wiener up in his arms, and whispers to him.
And by the way, Peter Parker does not live here anymore.
Spider-Man jumps with Wiener into his arms at the edge of the roof.
And tell the professor he can't have Peter's data. Goodbye.
Spider-Man drops Wiener off the roof, 3 floors straight down to the heavy bushes below. Interior Electrodyne factory shop, day. A sign tells us a clerk is double-checking a long list of items Hawk has ordered.
Oh, is that me? Sorry. Holy cow, what you building, fella? A cyclotron? All right, let's see here. Page 3. We got 30,000 feet of 50-gauge copper coax, twin 550 XK transformers, cadmium accelerator rails, a half dozen GBC relative multi-phase transducer, and 1 yellow thermos. That'll be $475,989.65.
Wrap it up.
What about the money? Or do you pay by credit card?
Cash. I'll be back soon.
Exterior street, outside of a bank, back door, night. An armored truck rolls by and stops. 2 guards open the bank's door. Suddenly, a Waldo smashes through the driver's side window of the armored truck, wrapping around the driver's neck and pulling him through the window. The shotgun goes for his weapon. But Waldo smashes in and pulls the gun out through his window. 2 Waldos shoot out and attach themselves to the rear door.
What's going on here?
The Waldo knocks him over. Ock rips the door off. The truck is full of money bags.
Cash.
Interior Jameson's office, day. A photo assistant looks at Jameson, goes over Peter's latest photos. They are Spider-Man shots.
Doesn't he look amazing in that one? Look, he's flying in the air.
I don't care if he flies to the moon. He's just another wrestler in a silly costume. Look at this, Parker, right off the wire. This is the guy who hit that armored truck this morning. They say he has metal arms. Get me a picture of this character.
Metal arms?
4 of them.
Ugh.
The web-faced weirdo. He's a joke in a Halloween costume. Don't make me laugh.
He tears up
Rip.
Peter's Spidey photos.
Now get out there and don't come back without something I can use.
Yes, sir.
A mega baloney. A bug in blue tights. What's next?
The Journal said he was a mega smash on MTV.
Interior cyclotron room, night. Wiener is putting on a clown suit. He fastidiously puts on his ratty jacket and a hanger and hangs it on a pipe. The pipe turns into a snake. It is, in fact, a Waldo.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm going to the
Going to the masquerade.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to the masquerade.
Me too.
It's it's Halloween tonight, Doc. Aren't you coming to the school ball? Well,
What?
you could go without an outfit.
Waldo whips around Wiener's throat.
You're not going to any ball, clown. You're going to get me Peter Parker's data.
I was almost killed on my last try. Look at all these bruises.
I don't care if you come back dead. Just get it.
Cost you $1,000 if I get it.
The Waldo coils tighten around Wiener's throat.
All right, boss, let me go, please.
Just get it, Wiener. I'm running out of time. If you fail me again, you won't have to concern yourself with money anymore. Do you get me, clown?
Wiener croaks
Yes.
his assent. Interior
Yes.
cafeteria, night. It's all dressed up for party. Lights, streamers, glitter ball, the works. Harry is dressed as a spaceman. Peter wears his regular
Spaceman.
clothes.
You should have worn a costume. I told you to wear a costume.
It's embarrassing.
There's Liz.
Liz is crossing the dance floor dressed as an Indian princess, which is problematic.
Yeah.
Roz, dressed as a cowboy, ambles over.
Howdy, partners.
Hiya, Professor
Hiya,
Rosimov.
Professor Rosimov. Any word on Dr. Octavius? Nothing beyond what I read in the papers. I'm afraid he's not the same man we knew. You know, I've been digging through the notes on his experiments.
Peter follows Liz with his eyes and wonders if she knows the meaning of cultural appropriation. She takes a seat at a table next to Kim, who wears a harem girl outfit, also problematic, with a salamander around her neck. Next to Kim is Spider-Man. Peter's eyes go wide.
You boys must have had an extraordinary classroom experience.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm going to be a little late with my paper on the planetary conjunction, sir.
Whenever you're ready, I'll look at it. I know it's going to be an important work. And Peter, take my hat.
He hands Peter an oversized 10-gallon hat.
It is a costume party.
Peter and Harry make their way through the dance floor to the table. Peter can't take his eyes off Spidey.
Look, there's Spider-Man.
Not the real one, I'm sure.
You can never be sure. All kinds of crazy stuff can happen at a masquerade ball.
I bet I know who it is.
As they take their seats, Peter sees the Spider-Man is trying to read the Bugle sports section and the party light. Kim waves. Peter nods at the big hat and the big hat falls over his face.
Hi, Liz.
Liz moves to Flash, who's dressed in the Spider-Man costume.
Hi, Peter. Hey, who's in the Spider-Man costume?
It's a very clever outfit you've got there, Flash.
Take a hike, asshole.
How did you recognize him?
His pretty blue eyes give him away.
Yep. Anyway, who'll be sitting with you at the Halloween ball?
I want to dance. Hey, Spider-Man, shall we flash dance?
Hey, I'm reading the paper, okay?
Liz turns with a mild pout. Nervously, Peter ponders his chance. Harry nudges him.
Take her now. It's easy.
Harry turns to Kim and does a clanking shimmy in the spacesuit.
Want to dance, Scheherazade?
I'm pooped.
I'm not.
She reaches out for Harry's hand.
Holy jumping jelly beans, will you? Will you look at these pictures of Spider-Man? Wow. Is this guy great or what?
Liz looks, she shrugs, then she shrieks.
Hey, Peter, these are your pictures!
Can't be.
It says here, photos by Peter Parker.
Peter reacts, then looks over Flash's other shoulder. Insert, there are 3 photos of Spider-Man in the paper. Peter blushes, smiling.
You know this guy, Parker?
Well, yeah, sort of.
Wow. I'll give you anything if you introduce us.
Will you grant me this dance?
Liz joins him provocatively.
Hey, Flashman, want to dance?
Well, why not?
Peter is left alone. Peter leaves towards the entrance. At the rear door, a big lizard passes a note to a Dallas cowgirl who passes it to a kangaroo. The kangaroo hops across the dance floor to the stage where he hands a note to a young woman in a baseball uniform. She climbs the stage where she is bathed in a spotlight. She gets a drum roll from the band. There are some boos as the band stops.
Thank you, thank you. We have a special surprise guest tonight.
Boo!
The Empire State University Masquerade Ball presents the Slammy winning star of MTV's wrestling tournament, the Amazing Spider-Man!
Flash, amazed, turns to Liz. He points to himself and mouths, Me? The real Spidey drops from the ceiling and lands in pose. The crowd cheers. He does a flip to Liz and extends a hand. The band starts up. Liz demurs.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Liz takes Spidey's hand and they move slowly and sexily into the dance floor. They do a short, simple number. Spidey returns Liz to Flash.
Come on now, Flash.
Flash takes Liz from Peter. Spider-Man. Liz and Flash dance wildly. They finish to big cheers. The real Spider-Man slides to center floor. The crowd backs away as Spidey spins out to the greatest dance number in film history. He's all over the floor and the walls and on the ceiling and on the glitter ball. He takes Liz and flies with her. He breaks the place up. Then he drops in a pose. Big cheers. Liz stops, breathless, very near to Spider-Man's face.
Who are you?
One day you'll know.
You sound very familiar.
Sure I do. I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He jumps up and disappears, leaving the crowd aghast and Liz in love. Interior, Ben and May's family room, night. Ben is flicking through the channels on his TV, aggravated as usual. It's all rock videos.
What a bunch of crap! Goddamn rock and roll screwing up the whole world. There's not one Mets game on. Mets games are on every day. Why isn't there a Mets game on? May, why isn't there a Mets game on?
He flicks off the set, turns to May, who is asleep on the couch. He gently nudges her.
May, wake up! There's not a game on. Let's go to bed.
Exterior, taxi, night. It enters the East River Drive. Interior, taxi, night, as the city rolls by.
Hey, can't you go any faster?
What am I in? A race?
I don't know. I get this tingling in my brain, like some danger is lurking just ahead. Or really bad dialogue. I'm worried about Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Your family?
Well, they're kind of my parents. They raised me. I lost both of my parents in a car accident. Please, step on it.
Step on it. So now you want to kill yourself in another accident. Not with me, true believer.
But I'm telling you, I've got this.
Tingling, I know. And I got ulcers. Everybody's got something to worry about.
Please, faster, please.
Okay, you asked for it. Excelsior!
My turn, Cabbie. Exterior, the street, night. The taxi skids and swerves like crazy, bumping into everything in sight. Interior, Ben and May's bedroom, night. The glass shatters. Aunt May sits up in bed with a start.
What's that?
What? It's nothing. Go back to sleep.
Crash.
Okay, I'll go look. Go back to sleep.
Wiener is going through the drawers. He finds a nice bone-handled knife and pockets it. Interior, Ben and May's living room, night. Ben descends the stairs from the bedroom. He peers off into the darkness and pulls his robe tight around him as to ward off some
Goddamn
unacknowledged
steps! I'm gonna
danger.
break my ass. I'm gonna fall down.
Exterior, taxi, night. Taxi driving fast through the street. Some crazy... interior, taxi, night.
Some crazy kind of town, huh? You hear about that holdup? The guy with the 6 arms? Ha! I tell you, I hear it all on this job. What kind of outfit is that anyway?
Look, I'm really in a hurry.
Bang! A blowout. The cabbie fights the wheel to the side of the road as he turns to Spidey.
Oh, you said the magic words. We have a flat, boy chick.
Interior, Ben and May's family room, night. Ben comes in and looks around. A long beat, then a noise.
Mice?
Interior, Ben and May's dining room, night. A very scared Wiener hides. Eyes widening. Wiener takes the bone-handled knife from his pocket. It glints in the moonlight. He moves off. Interior, Ben and May's kitchen, night. Ben is looking for mice. He opens a closet. Nothing. He shifts around. Nothing. He moves off. Exterior, 59th Street Bridge, night. The cabbie slowly changes the tire. Fearing the worst, Spidey gets out looking for a ride. A truck approaches. Spidey looks down at the cabbie and looks up at the truck.
Hey, you want to hand me that lug wrench, true believer?
He looks up to see Spidey go by, stuck to the side of the truck like a spider.
Some kind of crazy town.
Exterior, the truck, night. Spidey stares at the lettering on the side of the truck. It says, Victory Sporting Goods.
Sporting goods.
Interior, Ben and May's dining room, night. Ben comes in quietly. He looks around. He opens a closet. Nothing. He hears a crash. He wheels. A shadowy figure is run by a doorway. Ben takes off like a shot.
Oh, you picked the wrong house, I swear to God.
Ben runs through the rooms. Ben flies in and goes right at the rifle of the wall. We hear Wiener clattering around the house in the background. As Ben goes to a drawer and pulls out a box of bullets, he begins to fight the bullets into the rifle. Wiener comes flying in and tackles him. They fall to the floor. 4 hands on the rifle. They scuffle.
All I want is the kid's computer crap.
Let me go before I blow your brains out! Eminent domain or whatever that is!
The truck pulls away, leaving Peter in a pool of street lamplight. He's wearing a football jersey and shorts and carrying a sports bag. He begins to run. May hears a crash. She pulls the covers up around her chin in fear.
Let go!
You let go.
Peter runs up and hears a shot. He runs inside. Peter runs in. He sees Wiener standing there with a rifle. They face off across the room. The moment hits Peter like a punch in the chest.
Uncle Ben!
Peter!
Peter rushes to Ben.
Oh my God, Uncle Ben!
Peter tries to revive Ben while Wiener runs out.
Go Mets!
Plastic furniture, garage lighting, cigarettes in the ashtrays.
Ben gets through everything. He'll be all right. The doctors are...
Aunt May and Peter embrace, leaning on each other for support.
Excuse me, you the nephew?
Peter raises, nods, as Aunt May wipes away a sniffle.
Your uncle's a brave man. Apparently, the perpetrator was after something of yours. Your uncle didn't know what it was when he stood up to him anyway. You ought to be proud of him.
I am. How is he?
A grim-faced doctor walks slowly across the room to him. May stands up slowly.
I'm a detective, not a doctor, but you should ask the doctor.
How's my husband doing?
Mrs. Parker, I'm so sorry. We tried.
Oh!
May collapses.
Crash cart stat!
The detective pulls Peter gently away. The staff works on May.
Oh, I forgot the voice I was doing. Let the medics handle it. Look, if makes you feel any better, we're going to nail this guy. He crashed his getaway car. We got him trapped in a warehouse on Jackson. Local reference.
She's all right. She just fainted. We'll have to check her for symptoms of shock. If you want to wait, you can get some coffee on the 3rd floor.
No. I think I want to go out for some fresh air.
Exterior warehouse, night. Cop cars, cops, searchlights playing their beams against the Acme Chemical Storage Building. Gunfire flashes from one of the windows. Exterior cop car, night. Elite cops in baseball caps are plotting strategy.
That place is loaded with solvents and chemicals. If we blast our way in, it's gonna go up like a Roman candle.
We could go in through the 5th floor washroom.
What's that up there? Throw a light on it.
Cop 1 directs the beam on the searchlight. Exterior warehouse wall, night. Spider-Man is climbing in, trapped in the glare of the searchlight. He freezes.
He's got a partner.
Exterior cop car, night. Every cop's weapon is trained upward at Spider-Man.
We got an accomplice up there, and we got a clear shot. Do we have a go?
That's a go.
Exterior warehouse wall, night. Gunshots erupt around Spider-Man as he skitters around to evade them. The warehouse, night. Thinking they're shooting at him, Wiener shoots back. In the corner of his eye, he sees Spider-Man at a side window. He aims a rifle and Spidey ducks out of the way. A frightened Wiener moves to the side of the window to blow Spidey away. As he moves past the front windows, he is lit by the searchlights that play in front of the face darkly. Spider leaps in the front window and drops neatly behind Wiener, landing a pose.
Say your prayers, Wiener.
Wiener whips around and fires. Spidey leaps to avoid it and lands on a stack of paint cans.
You ain't taking me, Spider-Man. Whoever you are.
Spidey gathers himself tighter. He leaps. A second gun burst comes in behind him. Several paint cans erupt in cascades of color.
Hey, creep.
Spider-Man, Wiener aims and fires several times.
Bang!
He's
Bang,
emptying
bang.
his rifle. Spidey leaps away and lands on top of a cask marked Caution Flammable Solvent.
Try again.
The cask gives away and Spidey is plunged into the flammable solvent. Wiener smiles a stupid grin and takes aim. Spidey leaps out of the cask and sticks to the roof beam. He's sopping wet. His hand slips down to the beam as solvent works against his sticking power. He falls to the floor and scrambles behind some paint cans. Wiener, crazed, fires wildly. One of the cans explodes. Paint flows from it. Burning! Spidey peeks out to see a yellow river of flame creeping towards him. He sniffs the solvent-soaked outfit. He ducks down a corridor of paint cans. The yellow fire follows, just now joined by a river of blue fire from another can. They're following the trail of solvent. He's dripping. He's trapped.
This is your last chance, you two. Either you're coming out or we're coming in.
Spidey's against the wall. Paint cans to his right and left, and a river of red flame joins the yellow and blue as they're creeping towards him. He climbs towards the wall, face towards the blaze. The colored fires join and follow him up the wall. They're licking at his feet.
Stay back. Whoa. Stay back down there.
Spidey is inches from being torched. He sees a pipe. He reaches out and grabs it. He swings out above the flames, but the pipe begins to bend. The pipe begins down and then breaks. Spidey hangs precariously as water cascades out of the pipe and puts out the fire. Spidey drops down and rests his head in his hands to collect himself. He looks up. The gun is at his head.
Stand up, you.
Spidey stands.
You have 30 seconds to come out.
You're my ticket out of here. Give me that stupid mask.
Spider-Man hesitates. Then he begins to raise his mask, but stops and shakes his head no.
Then I'll take it myself.
He reaches for the mask and Spider-Man flips him across the room. Wheeler lands in a cargo net and becomes ensnared.
Well, look what we've caught in our web.
Don't hurt me, man. Please don't hurt me.
Interior warehouse, hallway, night. Cops are poised at the door, a signal. They crash inside.
Cop one.
Interior warehouse, paint room, night.
Hold your fire.
Wiener is hanging from the ceiling in the cargo net.
Get me out of this madhouse.
He falls down, immediately encircled by the police officers. Spider-Man flies above their heads, crashing through the window and disappears into the dark of night. Interior, cyclotron, night. A weird flickering blue light dances around the hole in the cyclotron, then it cuts out. A helmeted man pulls himself out of a hatch. He flips up the helmet Ocey has finished putting together his new equipment.
Okey dokey.
Ocey goes about checking out the cyclotron. It looks good. Interior control room, night. Ocey starts flickering switches and reads dials, doing a mission countdown for his next experiment. This place has been hot-rodded to the max.
Amperage? Okay. Flux? 14. Negative variable differential? Good enough.
He shuts it down. The wine whirs down.
Okey dokey. Now all I need is Parker's data. Where the hell is Wiener? Damn it. I can't trust anybody. Only you, my babies. Only you can I trust. Okay. If I have to do everything myself, I'm going to do it. I'll be back. My babies. My new babies.
Ocey hides the Waldos under his coat and leaves the room. Interior, Peter Parker's apartment, night. There is more equipment than before. Peter is deep at work. His Spider-Man uniform hangs on the wall. There's a knock at the door.
Hey, Peter, are you finished with my computer yet? I got a paper too, you know.
Oh my god. Oh, it's you, Liz. I didn't expect you. Give me a minute.
He hides his Spider-Man costume. Interior hallway landing, night. Liz waits impatiently.
Liz, yeah, come on in.
Liz enters, looking around. Peter covers for this and that.
What were you doing in here?
Cleaning up? Come on, I'll get your computer. Where's Flash parked?
He picks up the computer and turns to her, but she's already looking around the apartment.
Flash didn't come.
Oh, well, how are you going to get it home?
Liz walks into the room.
Taxi, I guess?
She discovers the prints of Spidey that Peter has taped up around the apartment.
You must spend a lot of time with the Spider-Man guy, Peter. Peter, don't you think you ought to unplug that?
Peter looks up and sees that he is tethered to the wall. Embarrassed, he puts the computer back down.
I'll go down to the corner to see if I can hail that taxi.
Peter leaves. Liz smiles. She likes Peter. Why is he so... Interior hallway, night. A shadow of a man can be seen hiding. Peter does not notice him. Interior, Peter Parker's apartment, night. There's a knock at the door.
Peter?
She's about to open the door when 4 Waldos smash through it, obliterating it. Ocey lands on the shattered hallway, Waldos writhing.
Dr. Octavius, you're so weird with those... What do you call those?
Waldos. Did you hear about Spider-Man? That's me. The real Spider-Man. Now, tell me, where is that jerky friend of yours, Parker?
Peter? Oh, he's not here. He's gone. I don't think he'll be back for a while.
You wouldn't lie to your professor now, would you?
Of course not. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Really, he's out.
We'll wait. Ock grabs Liz's hair with his Waldos.
What are you doing? Let me go, please. Just take those things out of my hair.
My Waldos, you mean?
Whatever you call them. Just please. Ugh.
Ock shoots out 2 Waldos. Simultaneously, each grabs a chair from different parts of the room and brings them to the table.
Sit.
She does. He does too, and folds his Waldos across his chest.
He's a nice boy. A little nerdy, maybe, but nice. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's very inexperienced.
One of Ock's Waldos rests on the table, curled around the computer. Liz lets her hand rest on it. Ock warms immediately.
You know, you're a fascinating young lady.
Thank you?
You're so refreshing. You're so...
Shocking?
I wouldn't say shocking.
I would.
She sticks his Waldo to the electrical wall socket behind the computer. The current sizzles through him and leaps up. Waldo's akimbo like a cartoon cat. Liz runs out the door. Ock extricates himself from the current and gives chase. Interior hallway, night. Liz bursts through the door.
Peter!
She looks both ways for Peter, but doesn't see him, and takes off. Ock bursts from the doorway and runs after Liz. The street, night. Liz is running as fast as she can, but Ock is gaining quickly. Peter Parker's apartment. A taxi drives up and disgorges Peter.
Wait here.
Interior, Peter Parker's apartment, night. He walks in. It's empty.
Liz?
Peter! Help! Peter!
Peter springs into action. He grabs his Spidey suit out of a drawer and starts taking off his clothes. Exterior, street. Liz looks down and sees Ock cartwheeling behind her. Towards her. She can't outrun him. She must hide. There's a construction site on the right. She ducks down the alley next to it. Liz runs in and finds herself trapped on 3 sides by a high cyclone fence. Behind her, Ock's Waldos stretch out like water bug legs. He bug walks into the alleyway and laughs at her from the perch atop the Waldos.
Yeah. Peter Parker has something I want, and I'm going to have something he wants.
She dashes past him and runs into the outboard cargo. Elevator. Interior elevator, night. She looks up from the up button and finds nothing. Ock on his feet now is on the wire mesh elevator cage in a flash. He tears the outer door away. Liz starts pressing knobs and levers in panic. The light goes on. A warning bell clings. She finally finds the switch and the car leaps up just as Ock tears off its front door. Liz, safe for the moment, watches Ock recede below, shaking the torn door off in a rage. Extending the Waldo over Waldo, Ock climbs the elevator housing, chasing the rising car inside. Interior construction rooftop, night. The car arrives and Liz jumps out. She's on nothing but a narrow girder. She tightropes on the girder. Ock gets to the top. He looks across to her. She's stuck between 2 unfastened girders at a dead end. He slowly telescopes the Waldo towards her. She's got no place to run, no place to hide. He grabs her by the blouse and lifts her off the girder.
Put her down, Ock.
Ock looks across the street. There on top of the tall building is Spider-Man.
I know what's been happening to you, Ock. I've been through a lot of the same changes myself. You have to listen to me.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's a load of crap, clown. I am the Spider-Man, not you. Ask your girlfriend. Tell him.
I'm a good friend of Peter Parker's, Ock. Just like that girl you're holding. Now let her go.
Ock thinks for a moment, then he begins to extend the kicking and screaming Liz out over the street. 10 stories up.
Very poor choice of words. Let her go. What an excellent idea. If you do not deliver your friend, Mr. Spider-Man, yes, of course, I'll let her go.
Put me down, you mechanical mutant!
Liz is having none of this. She kicks, she fights, she twists,
Ugh.
she flails around, making things a little worse. The ground is yawning beneath her, yawning death beneath her. Rip! Part of her blouse tears away and Liz plummets. Spider-Man swoops down on a web strand in his characteristic compound curve. He reaches out for the falling Liz and misses her cleanly. The web is too short.
You jerk!
He thwips her with a second web, and together they swing to a high girder where he deposits her safe and sound.
Tell your friend Peter next time I'll get the taxi myself.
Hey, you jerk! You funny Spider-Man! Prepare to meet your death, bug!
Spidey thwips a beam and swings towards Ock.
Actually, I'm rather fond of living, especially now.
He lands on Ock's girder, and the two progeny of the cyclotron face off for the first time, 10 stories above the street.
Octavius, just stop and think.
I am thinking, insect. I'm thinking about terminating you.
Okay, if that's the way you want it, let's see what those chrome knuckles can do, Doc.
Waldo lances out and catches Spidey flush on the jaw. It knocks him to another girder. Spidey hangs on and rolls over. He rubs his jaw.
Great.
Spidey gets ready to go into action and gets pummeled by another barrage of blows from above.
Now I must kill you, you cretinous clown!
Ock throws a roundhouse Waldo that nearly knocks Spidey off the girder, but he's just barely hanging on. But Spider-Man's not done yet. He thwips a high beam and swings into a better attack position. The two super adversaries engage in battle. With Ock swinging from his Waldos like a metal monkey, Spidey swinging from his webs like, well, Spidey, they clang and bang through the girders of the construction site.
Once I dispose of you, Spider-Man, no one will be able to stop me.
Stop you from what?
My destiny.
Ock throws his biggest punch yet. Sirens can now be heard in the street. Spidey avoids Waldo, strike after Waldo strike. Ock eludes web after web, but Spidey's agility soon has him turning circles.
Over here, Octopus.
That's Professor Octopus to you, spider jerk.
Give it up, Doc. You'll never catch me.
Ock takes 3 steps and soars through the air. Exterior brick wall, night. Ock, misjudging the leap, soars right past Spidey into an alley, screaming all the way. Ock and 2 Waldos pressed against each other at the opposing walls. It's a tenuous grip. Then, very slowly, sparks flying from his Waldos, Ock slides down into the alley.
So long, sucker.
Cop cars pull up. Cops leap from them. Ock makes it down, sees the cops, ducks out of sight. The searchlight go on. Spider-Man swings back across the street to the construction site.
There he is.
It's that Spider-Man.
Spidey lands next to Liz in a pose. Lit by the flashing billboard, he's weirder looking than ever. Spidey puts on an arm around Liz and extends a web shooter.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm rescuing you.
With that, Spidey leaps way out, and he and Liz swoop away from the web strand.
Thanks, but no.
All weapons point towards Spidey's movement.
He won't get away this time.
Hold
your fire! He's got a girl!
Looks like he's got a hostage.
Exterior, web strand. Spidey sees the weapons aimed upward. He shoots out another web and swings off in a different direction. Liz whoops with the G-force.
Woo, wait a minute. Where are you taking me?
Spidey, hounded by the police, rejected by the girl.
I better just take you back where you belong.
He shoots out another web.
Hold on tight.
Where are we?
Open your eyes.
They are standing on the roof of the central tower of the Empire University building. Liz opens her eyes. It's an extraordinary sight.
If you're trying to impress me, Spidey, I want you to know I'm not easy. Okay, I'm impressed. Now put me down, Spidey. Just put me down.
Christ.
Say it!
I like the way you say Spidey. Nobody calls me Spidey. Now we go.
They swoop down and down, stopping in one of the building's sills, actually right in front of a window in the dormitory building.
Wow. Look, this is our dormitory. I can get to my room. Hey, wait a minute. there's Flash, if I'm not mistaken.
Liz?
You know my name?
Liz, listen to me. There's something I have to tell you.
Okay, well, put me down and we can talk, all right?
Do you know who I am?
All I know is you're the amazing Spider-Man. Or better, you're the Spidey good guy on the block. You're a weirdo in a clown spider suit.
And that's all you know about me? Okay, let's get your boyfriend.
Which one?
How many do you have? I meant Flash.
Well, Flash isn't exactly my boyfriend.
He's not? Then who is?
There's someone I like, but he's too shy to notice.
Flash
Flash.
appears.
Liz, Spider-Man.
Rocky!
You know everybody.
Janet!
Flash, we have to call Peter.
Flash rushes right past Liz to the window. There's a newspaper in his hand.
Hey, they won't let up, man. They keep calling you an accomplice in that burglary murder, but that's a crock, ain't it? I'm with you, Spidey, 100%.
Gee, thanks.
By the way, what are you doing with Liz?
She needed a lift.
Oh, okay. This calls for a beer. A lot of beer.
Thanks, but I got one already. I have some business to take care of.
Well, take care of that later. Wait here. I'll get the beer. I'll
He
get more beer.
disappears. Liz comes tentatively to the window where Spidey squats, desire and passion in his wide eyes.
How'd you know this was Flash's place?
Peter Parker told me all about it.
Peter told you all
Casually.
about Flash?
No, he told me all about you. See you later.
Interior, dorm, night. Flash comes in with more beer than a man ought to carry.
Hey, where'd he go? Hey, Spider-Man!
But Spider-Man has disappeared.
Peter told your hero all about me.
He would, wouldn't he? That jerk.
Oh, Uncle Ben's ghost want that beer.
Exterior, Peter Parker's roof, night. Spider-Man lands on it. He drops in the skylight. He drops into the room and pulls off his mask. The place has been ransacked. Computer disks are all over the floor. Peter pulls a file marked Planetary Conjunction and opens it. A piece of paper falls out. It says, "Kiss it goodbye, Wallcrawler."
Octavius! I'll follow you to the ends of the earth!
Peter is hurrying along. Kim is sunning herself wonderfully.
Great.
Kim, have you seen Harry?
Sure, lots of times. What a brainiac.
Yeah. Have you seen him today?
No.
Peter!
Hi. Have you seen Harry?
No, what a night, huh?
Yeah. That was some ride home. Must have been pretty exciting.
It was okay. Look, I got 2 tickets to Les Miserables. You want to go?
What a strange invitation. Sorry, I'm really busy. I mean, not tonight. See you later.
My uncle died yesterday. So maybe I don't want to go see a play.
About
Where people
death.
get beheaded, yeah. Sorry. Hey,
I believe
Peter,
it's a
how did
musical,
you-
but okay.
Yeah, it is. The original was a play.
Hey,
Focus.
Peter, how'd you know? Hey, Peter, how'd you know about last night?
What about last night?
My exciting ride with Spider-Man.
Wow, that's pretty graphic. Sorry, I gotta hurry. I have to find Harry. I'll see you later.
Funerals don't plan themselves.
Yeah.
Peter!
Peter runs off. He sees a car approach and flags it.
Hey, can I get a lift downtown?
Take your shoes for a walk, dork.
Flash gets out of his car and crosses the lawn towards Liz. Interior control room, day. Ock is hard at work. The room, still rippled, has been hot rodded to the max. Lots of jerry-rigged stuff has been added. Ock takes a sip from the thermos and flicks on the small tape recorder.
We are now inserting Peter Parker's data on tonight's planetary conjunction. Insert. The computer screen displays
Screen
Peter Parker's
displays
name and ID number.
Planetary conjunction and its effect on Earth gravity.
Yes. Yes, go on. Go on, do it! Do it now!
Number sequences appear on the screen, then a graphic of the Earth moving into line with Saturn, Jupiter, and the Sun and the Moon. The center corner is a number as a number rises.
Enormous. It's enormous. The Parker calculations add 4% gravitational force at the moment of full planetary conjunction. Adding this to present maximum power potential, I get.
He looks up and sees the screen of graphic hole opening right up through the Earth. Its widening hole is swallowing everything.
I knew it. I knew it! Universal destruction. It's doable. I am putting a countdown clock on the planetary conjunction now!
A large digital display reads 1303. The last seconds count down to 12:59:59.
Okey dokey. Now, let's see if I have enough power to drive this beast.
He starts hitting keys on his computer. Peter Parker's apartment, night. Peter's working on Liz's computer. There's a knock at his door, his brand new, unpainted door. He hurries and pulls at the knob so quickly, forgetting his own strength, that the whole assembly comes off in his hand.
I gotta remember to have that fixed. There you are. I've been looking for you all over town.
What happened?
Where were you?
I went to the wrestling. Wanted to see that amazing Spider-Man, but he didn't show up.
Listen, Harry, something terrible happened.
What? What?
My planetary conjunction papers, they were stolen.
Oh my God,
And my
are
uncle
you
died
sure?
yesterday.
Who would do such a thing?
Dr. Octavius and his wiener.
Of course. But why?
We have to find out. Sit down. I want to access Dr. Octavius's main program. I want to know about his experiments with the cyclotron. Can you do it?
Of course I am. I'm a nerd. I could access the system in the dorm. Okay, and through that I could crack the main line.
All right. Now, if we can disrupt the Octavius file...
Okay, let's try.
Harry cracks his knuckles like a safe cracker and bends to the task. His phone rings. Peter hits his jerry-rigged speakerphone. Harry keeps hacking.
Yeah?
Peter Parker! Peter! This is J. Jonah Jameson.
Mr. Jameson, you've got me at a bad time.
I need pictures of your friend, the amazing Spider-Man. But I need bad guy shots. You got it? Lots of bad guy shots. We're going to pin that insect to the wall. What do you say? What
Peter
do you
hangs
know?
up. The dial tone cuts off Jameson. Interior Jameson's office, night. Only he and the photo assistant are there.
What about that kid? On the job already?
Ock is pacing around the hot-rodded room. He checks in this and that. He looks at the countdown clock. 6 hours, 10 seconds, then throws himself down in his chair. He resumes his check down.
Fusion cells, all up. Eternal temperature, okay. Risk, acceptable. Let's fly.
He starts flicking on switches and dials. The wine whirs up. He throws the red power throttle. The power dial goes to 90. Interior Peter's apartment, night. Peter and Harry are at the computer. The lights flicker on and dim. Then they go back on. Peter and Harry look at each other and shrug.
Got something.
Digital clock
What?
display.
What is
6
it?
hours and 3 seconds.
What is it?
Let me see. It's some kind of countdown clock.
Countdown to what?
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's only 6 hours away.
The planetary conjunction?
Could be.
Or Doc's end-of-the-world experiment? Or both?
Wait a minute. You're not telling me you think the world is going to end tonight?
You want to wait around till midnight to find out?
No, but
Let's see what else we've got.
Another set of numbers roll up on the screen. They are accompanied by electrical symbols.
what's that?
It might be a calculation of the amount of power he needs to create the hole between the force and the anti-force.
That's a lot of energy. What could generate power like that?
The closest you could come is the New York City subway system.
Again, the lights flicker and then dim, and they return.
We gotta talk to Professor Rossmorph.
Interior Broadway Express, night. Roz boards and takes a seat. There are the usual subway types. A fat woman, A pimply teenager and his date, a tall, skinny girl in a party dress. Roz, making notations in a pad, takes no notice of them. He sits down, closes his pad, and taps a temple against his chin.
Plutonium.
Exterior, major intersection, night. Taxis go by. Two lovers stroll. Another fat lady. We hear a similar whine. The walk and don't walk signs flash at the same time.
Make up your mind.
George?
I think we lost him.
Did someone say that?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The walk and don't walk signs flash at the same time.
Yeah, and then someone's got to say, make up your mind.
I did.
Oh,
You froze
I
for a
Make up
second.
your
You
mind.
froze.
Okay, it cut out. That's why. All right. The sign explode. A couple stops in their tracks. The boy looks at the girl.
What's going on?
An arc of
Oh
electricity
shit!
now
I'm
shoots.
sorry. I was boy. I apologize. I was boy, and I fucked it up.
You
Boy
could have just
fucked
left
it
it,
up.
and we would have carried on, and no one would have known.
No.
See,
I'm sorry,
an arc
go
of
on,
electricity now shoots between the light pillars of the subway station on the corner. Interior Broadway local, night. Sparks fly through the window. Roz, oblivious at first, is now stunned by the show. Subway train entrance, night. The arcs of electricity continue to rise. The street lights buckle and bend in weird shapes.
Oh my god!
Get back! Get back!
Two taxis whir through the intersection and collide. The ethnic drivers leap out and begin arguing. Really?
No, we're not gonna do that.
Come on. Interior, train, night. People scream and fall back as the train seems to change angles. Exterior subway entrance, night. A building roar rises from the subway entrance. Then the sound of a train whistle. The boy looks down at the stairs and has to leap out of the way as the Broadway Express comes highballing up the steps and blasts to the subway entrance. The train sails through the air. Luxury condo high-rise, night. The train crashes into the building in a storm of cyclotron juniors of dolly physics. The throb and pulse recedes. Screams, honks, sirens can be heard. A splendidly turned out middle-aged woman takes from her satin sleep to see what a subway train is in the middle of her bedroom. The wall through which the train has come sags and ripples like it was melted and partially resolidified.
Henry!
Several passengers climb out of the windows of the train to pry open the doors.
What are you doing here? Get out of here! Get out of here!
A crowd is gathered to gawk and point. They look up and we see their POV. The middle car of the train is simply embedded in the high-rise, its rear sticking out of the building 15 stories up. From its coupling dangles the last car. The car is bisected in the middle by the fused brick and glass of the wall of the building. Passengers on the outside of the wall press their faces to the glass and pound for help. Roz comes to the aid of a mother with 2 children. The crowd sees something else. Swinging high into the sky is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The couple and 2 drivers argue about what this means.
It's Spider-Man!
Get out of here, you rapscallion!
Hey, what are you talking about?
Oh, what's the matter, lady? Don't you read the papers?
This is the driver of a Daily Bugle truck carrying that historically famous bugle line, Spider-Man, threat or menace.
Go, Spidey, go!
It's nearly vertical. People are tumbled over each other. The scared teenagers tearing at the door. The skinny girl screams in a mechanical way. The door opens. He nearly falls. The skinny girl screams again. He manages to get back inside. She looks at him. Safe now, but she screams again anyway. Ross struggles to find himself against the pole. A bag of groceries goes sliding past him. It continues towards in and out of the open door. Insert. The bag tumbles down through the air. Down, down, down. Insert. Interior. Middle car. Night. Spidey's face appears on the window upside down.
Hello, everybody.
He slides the window open and flips inside. He walks through the parting passengers to the building wall. He feels it.
Okay, everyone stand back and stay cool.
He hurls himself at the fused glass portion and bounces back onto the floor. He rolls over, flexing his shoulder.
Is that the real Spider-Man?
Spidey does a triple flip on his feet. He reaches up for the overhead railing and pulls it down easily. Oohs and ahs. Spider-Man points it at the glass and hefts it.
Somebody want to give me a hand with this?
First, the woman and then all of them take up positions on the battering ram.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
They ran the glass and it shatters. In the interior of the luxury condo high-rise, Henry stands at the open door of the train in his bedroom as they all come rushing through into the room.
Come on, that's it. Step lively now.
Henry, the rugs!
Oh, shut up.
Have a nice evening, ma'am. And you too, Henry.
Oh, thanks, Satterman. Oh.
The street, night. The fire trucks arrive and begin to assemble a ladder. Interior, the last car, night. Spidey arrives at the door at the top of the car. He sees Roz at the bottom. 3 people are between them. The skinny girl sees Spidey. She screams.
Okay, folks, just hang on.
He scampers down the grab handles to the people below. 4 passengers cling to seats and bars.
Okay, one at a time. You first, ma'am.
A fat woman makes, "Who, me?" gesture. Spidey throws her over his shoulder. Insert the coupling, which holds the 2 cars at right angles, begins to bend open. Spider-Man, the fat woman, over his shoulder, goes hand over hand to the top, and the woman is dumped into the middle car. The coupling bends a little more. Spidey helps the teenager and the skinny girl out of the car. She takes a dreadful step close between the cars. She looks down. She screams. She steps across. The fire ladder is up, but it is about 10 feet short of where it's aimed at. At the end of the car, a fireman stands at its apex.
Give me more ladder. I need more ladder.
Negative on that. You're at full extension.
Okay.
Last car, night. Now only Roz is left. Spidey approaches him. He clings to a pole. The coupling bends open. The car is hanging there from memory.
This is Dr. Otto Octavius's work. I must get back to my university. I must stop Ock. He's gone crazy. Can you help me?
Sure thing. Just don't take the train. Come on, give me your hand.
Spider-Man, listen to me. If he can do this with the train, if he's come this far, then I can pretty well predict his next step. He'll go to plutonium SL-270 for the power. He must be stopped, or else he'll destroy our world.
The coupling shrieks and the car lurches.
I won't let that happen. Let's get you out of here first, Professor.
Wait, Spider-Man, I don't think I can make it. You mustn't waste time saving me. You must save the world. You must go and stop Ock.
Where can I find him?
He is looking for plutonium SL-270, I'm sure.
The car lurches on its side and Roz flies out of the door. Spidey whips out a web that girdles Roz's waist.
Think, Rossomorph. Think. Where can one find plutonium? Where could he find SL-270? The Libyans?
Luxuriant condo high-rise night. Roz is hanging in midair. On the web. Roz shouts.
There's only one place he can get the plutonium SL-270.
Where?
Toxic dump. Any toxic dump would have SL-270.
Spidey swings Roz at an arc to the fireman. He misses Roz on the first pass. Roz looks up at Spidey, who stands in the doorway manipulating the web. The fireman grabs Roz, then, with an awful screech of steel, the car pulls loose from the coupling with Spider-Man inside it. The car plunges 10 stories through the street below. Exterior street, night. Cops, firemen, press, the works. The crowd gasps. Camera strobes pop at the last car crashes to the sidewalk. He held several beats in the incredible bubble. Then, a web hand, Spider-Man groggily pulls himself from the wreckage.
Put your hands up, Spider-Man.
You're making a big mistake.
And you're looking at 20 years.
Spider-Man shoots a wab of web goo onto the cop's gun and leaps onto the luxury condo. He swings up out of the frame. The cop aims and shoots. The bullet makes a thwomp noise. The web goo stretches out from there 3 feet and falls limps.
What the hell?
Exterior, back of building. Spider-Man swings painfully, one-handed and limp at the end of a web strand. After falling 10 stories, he is groggy and weak. He can't think. He can't focus. He can barely hold on to his wrist gizmos. This bug is spent.
Must go on. Must find Ock. SL-270 plutonium. Must get that crazy old loony. Before he gets to the plutonium. Toxic dump. Where are the toxic dumps?
He hangs down there with two web hands to catch his breath and think. He shoots a web up diagonally and swings across on it. This time he catches on hold, but barely. Interior, Aunt May's family room, night. Liz is standing. Aunt May is seated on the couch. She looks weak, pale, alone.
You're as lovely as Peter said you were.
I miss Ben.
I don't.
I'm haunting you.
Go Mets!
Go Mets.
Thank you.
Go Mets. Hookins.
Thank you. He really wanted so badly to come see you. He called me out of the blue.
Tell me about Peter. What's he been up to? He seems so preoccupied.
Wasn't even at the funeral.
Oh, you know Peter. He's all caught up in some kind of study he's doing. Things are really crazy at university right now. Things are crazy just everywhere. I guess Peter's just, well, you know, pulled into a shell.
When Peter was little, he loved to hide. In the closets, under the sink, he always needed a secret place. But when I'd look for him, he'd always laugh. He wanted to be found.
Yeah, well, I don't think he wants me to find him. Well, I better be going. My friend Flash is picking me up.
This Flash, he isn't your boyfriend, is he?
No, not really. I think you can guess why.
They smile knowingly at each other. Liz goes towards the door.
Elizabeth?
She turns.
She turns.
Finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
What?
That's what I used to say to Peter when I found him.
Fuck this script. Spider-Man swings high above it. Fifth Avenue, that is. Night. This is not the confident swinger with Liz in his arms. This is a guy who's making it by the narrowest of margins. There's a traffic jam below.
Got to find Ocke. Got to find the toxic dumps. Oh, yeah.
He looks down at the traffic. We get a pan across many cars until we get a nondescript green car. Interior, green car. Night. Ocke is honking the horn. Something lands on his roof. Then Spidey sticks his head upside down to the windshield.
What's up, Ocke?
Fucking God.
Yo!
The Waldo smashes through the windshield but misses Spidey. Ocke leaps from the car.
You're a doomed bug, Walt Collier, but I've no time to waste on you now.
Exterior street, night. Ocke runs through, honking traffic. Spider-Man leaps from car to car. Ocke turns to see Spider-Man leap up at a limo on the curb. Ocke turns tail and runs down an alley. A female cop pulls out of a doorway. Her partner, a big, young cop, pulls his gun.
All right, freeze! Up against the wall and spread him!
Ocke complies. He raises his hands and spreads the Waldos to full extension. The big cop screams and faints. The little female cop's eyes pop. Ocke swaps the gun from her hand. He starts to choke her. Harder, Daddy. Spidey comes swinging to the rescue. He lands to the roof nearby.
Hey, you big Ocke. Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
What a big Ocke you have.
All right, Spider-Bug. Here I come for you.
Ocke leaves the cop and attacks Spider-Man, shooting his iron fist at him. Ocke runs to the end of the alley. Spidey staggers to his feet and resumes the chase. Ocke breaks into a red convertible Corvette, starting it with a Waldo. Spider-Man comes out in time to see the vet drive away. A Chinese laundry truck is passing. Spidey thwips it and is whipped away. He crawls over to the window.
Hey, driver, could you follow that red vet for me?
A surprised Asian
goodness
person lets
gracious.
loose a stream of explicatives, complete with appropriate suggestive gestures. Spider-Man crawls to the top of the truck and surveys the situation. He sees a sign of moving traffic. He thwips up to the web and swings away. Spidey swings along from building to building. The red vet is making headway. Suddenly, Spider-Man spots a blue MG with his top up.
Flash Thompson. I never thought I'd be happy to see you.
Exterior, blue MG, night. Spidey swoops down on the blue MG. Interior, blue MG, night. Spidey wedges down to the car, right between Flash and Liz. She whoops. Flash is thrilled.
Woo!
Sorry about that.
Spider-Man, this is unbelievable.
Flash, I need your help.
You got it.
You any good with this thing?
I'm the best.
Okay, catch that vet.
Roger, Wilco, over and out.
He swerves. Spidey falls all over Liz. They begin to careen through traffic. 3 peas in a very small pod. Exterior, West Side car chase montage. Night. With Spidey jammed in between Liz and Flash, the MG chases the vet. Since neither Ock or Flash is any good at this, both cars quickly careen into poles, fences, hot dog carts, and begin falling apart. On Riverside Drive, the MG begins to lurch and steam. The vet looks eaten away. The George Washington Bridge looms ahead. The vet roars through the toll booth. They spot Ock stuck in traffic.
Ah!
Why is he going to New Jersey? And who is in that shitty red car?
Don't you recognize him? It's Ock.
New Jersey has the largest toxic waste dump in the whole world.
Ha ha ha.
Ah.
You get it?
So clever.
What does he want with toxic waste?
He's looking for plutonium, my dear.
The car has to slow down. It's in a traffic jam.
Sorry, I can't do anything about this traffic.
Spider-Man jumps out of the car.
Try to stay with me. I don't want to lose him.
Speeding along the bridge, Ock sees no one, but high above, Spidey swings from tower to tower after him. At the very last tower, Spidey leaps down into a big truck. The vet waves and Spidey crosses to another big truck. For a moment, he's caught in between 2 trucks, but he makes it cross. The vet takes an exit. Spidey leaps to the next sign. He aims his wrist gizmo and waits for the next car to take the exit, but none does. Deflated, he drops to the ground. He looks up to see a sign on a cyclone fence. It says, "Dump number 7, keep out, radioactive material."
Bingo.
Toxic waste dump, night. The landscape has a nightmarish vision, weirdly lit by safety lights. Vats and drums ooze all kinds of bad stuff. A light is on in a dilapidated shack. Interior of the shack, night. Ock is tossing away the canisters until he comes to one marked Hazard, plutonium SL-270, hazard.
Well, that's convenient. Okey dokey.
Open that now and you'll spoil Christmas.
Spidey's peering in from a hole in the roof.
Insect. I am going to squash you to death once I lay my walnuts on your skinny bones.
Ock rolls a drum at Spidey. It erupts in a sizzle of liquid and gas. Then the 6-armed fiend runs from the door with his SL-270. Interior, shack. Exterior, shack. Night. Ock comes flying out with Spider-Man and grabs a Waldo. Spidey has a backflip and whips Ock so hard that Waldo snaps off. Ock recoils it and retracts in horror. With the roar, Ock attacks Spider-Man. They battle as super adversaries. Ock gains their upper hand and tosses Spidey into a hole of rusting drums. A gas envelops Spider-Man and he begins coughing. He gets cancer. Exterior, the dump, night. Ock's Waldos are coiled around Spider-Man's neck as the web slinger is dragged through the dump. His white eyes narrow and blink. There's a capped well behind a warning sign. Ock tears off the cap and then hurls the groggy spider down the well.
Goodbye, Spider-Man.
Interior, the well, night. Spidey falls. He cannot grab into the slimy walls. At the bottom of the foul pit is a bubbling blue luminescent pool. Spidey claws frantically at the walls.
No!
He gets a hold and slides down within a foot of the pool. Its weird light shines up at him. He looks up at the starry sky.
Okay, now, Spidey. Easy does it.
He shoots a web about halfway up the pit. It hits the wall, sizzles, and drops back down.
Don't give up, Spidey. Don't give up.
The web gizmo squirts out a pathetic patooey of web goo. Then it hisses. Empty!
Empty.
Happens to lots of guys.
Now, what do I do now?
So, you've avoided the nuclear pool, have you, Spider-Man?
Well, so far so good. But I can't hold on much longer.
Pity.
Oh, come on, Ock. Be a good sport. Let's talk this over face to face. Throw me a line.
Spidey reaches out.
Okay. Face to face. Catch this!
Ock, way up at the opening above, raises a huge drum above his head. The drum leaks toxic waste and orange tendrils. He's about to drop it down on a Spider-Man.
Don't do it, Professor.
We now see Flash and Liz in the blue MG.
I know you. And you, young lady. Both of you are in my physics class, are you not? Come! You can help me. I need to get some of these drums to my laboratory. Help me, and I'll give you some special grades. What do you say?
Suddenly, he catches Flash with a Waldo and starts to choke him. Liz screams and tries to help Flash.
Ah, leave him alone!
Another Waldo grabs her. Roz now appears on the scene.
Leave them alone, Otto.
But they won't help me. Everybody is trying to destroy my experiment. And so are you, Rosamorph.
Another Waldo grabs Roz by his arm.
Otto, I was wrong. I've gone over your research. It's brilliant, Otto. It's mad, but it's brilliant. You have much work left to do. I want to help you, Otto. For the sake of science, go and do your experiment. Leave these kids alone, and I'll help you.
You will?
You will?
Sorry.
You too?
Both Flash and Liz shake their heads and say, Okey dokey. Ock gestures to Flash and Liz.
Help me with these drums. I need to get them to my laboratory immediately.
Do as he says.
Ock pushes Flash and Liz with his iron arm. Gripping Liz by her hair, he shoves her into the car.
Dry Flash, before I flush your girl right down the toilet.
Professor Rosamorph, it's no good. Double dealing. Why did you help him?
Rosamorph finds a rope and looks into the well.
Don't lose your energy screaming. Catch this rope and climb up. Come on.
Interior, Roz's car. Night. They drive along the highway. Spidey's recovering, working his neck.
I've been through the Octavius data. He has enough power with his plutonium, especially if he gets his hands on Parker's data. There he has enough power to do what he wants to do, and we are not going to stop him in time before the planetary conjunction occurs tonight.
Stop the car. I have an idea.
They're in the middle of Riverside Drive, but a phone booth is coming up on the right. Roz's foot stabs the brake. Roz's car, night. Spidey gets out of the car, then he pats himself where his pockets ought to be.
Do you have a dime?
Interior, Peter Parker's apartment, night. Harry is there working on the computer. Phone rings. Harry picks up.
Harry.
Peter, where are you?
Listen, Harry, you gotta get my paper before Ock uses it.
Your planetary conjunction data? It's too late. Ock's got your paper. It's in his computer already.
The computer screen displays a graphic of the sun and Earth and Moon lining up with Jupiter and Saturn.
But don't worry, he can never use it without plutonium.
He's got the plutonium, and he's on his way back to the lab. And he's got 2 prisoners with him, Liz and Flash.
Don't worry, he needs a huge amount of power, thousands of volts of electricity to get to the anti-force.
He can get to the power, electrical power, to the max, nuclear power, SL-270. And now, at the moment of full planetary conjunction, when all the planets line up with the sun, maximum gravitational power. The conjunction is Ock's final power source.
Damn, the conjunction is due at midnight. What are we gonna do?
Exterior, University grounds, night. The Blue MG arrives and comes to a stop. Ox looks at his 2 prisoner in the backseat and smiles to himself. Picks up 1 drum on each shoulder.
Okey dokey. Have fun, young ones. For the last time.
Ock leaves. Liz and Flash are tied together in the backseat of the car.
What do we do now?
We kiss the world goodbye. If he is right, all there is left to do is...
Wait, I think I can release my right hand.
No, let's kiss.
Exactly. Interior, Peter Parker's apartment, night.
How much time is left? Wait, I can find out. My God, 59 minutes.
Interior, phone booth, night.
The only way we can interfere with Doc's plan is to find a computer center fast.
Our university has the biggest center in town.
Yeah, but who's gonna work them?
Exterior, University grounds, night. Professor Ock comes for some more drums. He sees that Liz and Flash have disappeared. Ock picks up 2 drums. Harry, seeing Flash and Liz, come running to the school grounds.
I think I can get some help. I can teach anyone how to work a code in 5 minutes.
My God, that's the most impressive tutorial I've ever heard. Do it!
In computer lab, night. The lights are off, but the computers are on. Harry looks over Liz's shoulder and she cracks through a code. Her screen reads out, Connecticut Tech, fully up, line backlog, security max level. Then the last line is flashing.
Hey, this is easy. Remember me? Kim, from the beginning of the script.
My salamander can code. They all run from computer to computer.
Hey, Harry, I need help.
Coming.
Harry types in Canarchy Ltd, which gets the same response. He looks at his digital wristwatch. 1 hour, 2 seconds becomes 59 minutes, 59 seconds as we watch. They're in a warning buzzer.
I got one.
Harry, get over here.
Harry hurtles to Kim's side and Belle elbows her out of the chair. The screen is flashing
Hey.
warning, security breach. Harry's hands fly over the keys. The kids gather around. Line drawings of the cyclotron, progressing from large to small detail, appear one after the other. Finally, a pipe. There's a circle around a joint and the legend H2O.
A goddamn water leak.
Hey, look at this. Empire State University. This is our cyclotron, right?
What does it say?
It says no information on net.
Damn, we can't do it.
You mean we can't stop Looney Ock?
I mean, the world is in danger.
We must find Peter. He knows these computers better than all of us.
Yes, but where the hell is he?
I bet he is with Spider-Man.
Suddenly the lights dim. A heavy noise. An earthquake. The Earth is moving into line with the other planets of the conjunction. Harry and Flash and Liz and Kim and Salamander, the Earth is shaking, come running out from the building beneath the enormous hanging moon. They are frightened. Suddenly it all stops. It's quiet. The kids look at the sky.
Look at the moon. I've never seen it so big.
What is that?
Must be the sun.
We now see the sky, with the sun on one side and the moon on the other. They watch it, shocked, frightened out of their wits. End of the world montage, night. Suddenly, from Ock's basement, a white-blue beam of light breaks through. A whine starts. It moves magically out of the window and pans around a sleepy New York, which doesn't know the end is upon it. The dreaded whine builds throughout. People stop in their tracks to look up to the strange-looking skyline. Camera comes down to a street where Roz is driving Spider-Man fast towards the university. Interior, Roz's car, night, which is Superman now. Roz looks out over the skyline of New York. Lighted buildings flare up and then go dark. The lighted spire of the Empire State Building flares up and explodes!
It started. Step on it, Professor. We'll never make it.
They look across the campus at a strange light is coming out of the Science Center.
Our campus, right there. See those beams coming from Ock's lab? We're late. It's coming. The conjunction will happen in a few seconds.
Spider-Man massages his arm.
Stop the car. Come with me.
Where? What?
Spider-Man shoots out a web and flies towards the school building, taking Roz with him. Experimental chamber, night. It is a patchwork of makeshift repairs. Ock looks in through a window that's been melted out. He's lost in a mad rapture. Red power throttles at 95% power. Spider-Man and Roz enter, shielding their eyes from the glare. The countdown reads 8 minutes, 18 seconds.
Aha! You never included the conjunction in your calculations, did you, Rosamorph?
Damn the calculations! My God, Otto, you have to hear me. The world we know will collapse. Everything we've devoted our lives to, all the patterns, all the harmonies, everything will be destroyed.
A new world awaits, Rosamorph. It is my destiny.
It is cosmic suicide. You have no right.
Roz flings himself down through a melted window into the experimental chamber. He grabs for the bullet, but the Waldos grab him and throw him back. Roz staggers backwards into the arms of Spider-Man.
You have to stop him. Spider-Man, you have to stop him.
I'm afraid we're too late.
Spider-Man attacks Ock, trying to push him away from the throttle. Ock pushes Spider-Man away from him so strongly that Spider-Man is knocked down. Ock nudges the power throttle forward and the whine increases to an ear-shattering pitch. The countdown clock reads 6 minutes, 48 seconds, and we are at 96% power. The Science Center, night. We pan down from the moon to a street full of sirens and the shadowy figures running into the night. Liz and Kim and Harry come nearer. A very weird light is emanating from the center.
He's in there. I know Peter is in there. She breaks into a run.
Liz, don't. Liz, come back. Come back.
Liz runs inside. They run after her. A bolt of electricity flashes across the doorway, stopping them. The planets are playing on the computer screen. Thing is, the room begins to shake. Weightless, the energy storm is brewing.
Okey, dokey. My energy storm has started. My anti-fuse is on. History is being made. Spider-Man, Rosamorph, cheer up, friends. We're on our way to the unknown cosmos. We three are about to visit heaven. Real God's heaven.
Good news, everyone! The conjunction! It's happening!
The conjunction is now happening. Surreal dials spit in madly. Liz runs into a hallway, gone berserk. Stuff is flying everywhere. Tiles pull from the walls and crash to the ceiling.
Peter! Peter, where are you?
Ock throws the red power throttle to 97% power. Cacophony! The bullet begins to pulse and throb. The dials spin. The countdown clock reads 5 minutes, 58 seconds. Whoop, 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 whoop. The full moon hangs over the building. Flash and Harry and Kim stand at the entrance of the center. Flash starts to run to the building.
Liz, come on out.
They run forward as they reach the front steps. The building lurches upward. The bottom steps become a wall of stone and dirt, 6 feet high.
Get back! Flash, get back!
Wow.
Then the building lurches upward again. This time it pulls free of the ground. The kids take cover as water lines burst and electrical wires spark. Liz opens a door in the hallway.
Peter!
The building lurches and throwing her back across the hall where she crashes through another door. Chemistry lab. All manner of stuff is flying around. Liz comes sliding across the floor. She crashes into a cabinet. Glassware starts to fall on her, but crashes into the ceiling instead. She is dragged up the wall. She kicks and screams against the anti-force. Kim, Flash, and Harry look over as heavy electrical cables stretch over to the rising center and then snap in powers of sparks. As they fall away, the center becomes airborne. The cables wave up at it, shooting arcs of electricity directly at the building. Liz slides down the wall. She grabs the window and looks out. The rest of the university recedes beneath her, now 100 feet below, and they're still rising. Flash and Harry look up.
Oh my God. Liz is inside there.
And Professor Rosamorph and Crazy Ock.
What about Peter? Is he in there with them?
No, but I bet Spider-Man is.
Exterior street in front of university. Night. People look up at the science center. A cyclist riding up, looking, crashes into a taxi. Max Rice leaps out of this beautiful starlet from the taxi.
That's some show, if I ever saw one.
Interior, Jameson's office, night. He's looking into his window, seeing the university's lab building fly by, up and up towards the sky.
Tear out the front page. Change the headline. The biggest news is happening right now. We need photos. A camera. Give me a camera.
A very long shot of the science center rising into the clouds. Aunt May's bedroom, night. I miss Ben. She pulls aside the curtain and watches the science center rise. Ock works the computer as the console sends up showers of sparks. He glances at the bullet, which now pulses. The countdown clock is at 4 minutes, 18 seconds.
Where is it going, Otto?
Other worlds, Roz. Other times, other dimensions. Who knows? Who cares?
Then
Not the screenwriter.
why?
Truth, Rosamorph. Look at it. The new truth. The new way.
Don't listen to him, Professor Roz.
No, you don't listen to that clown. He can't save you. Or the world, for that matter.
Waldo reaches in and grips Roz off of Spidey, flinging him back against the wall. Roz lands in a heap beneath a fire station. Hose, extinguisher, axe. We see Waldo reach out for Spider-Man. He wraps around his foot and begins to tug, slowly.
Once and for all, Spider-Man. Once and for all will end the legend of your powers.
Ock knocks Spider-Man with a real big blow with his Waldo. Ock is slowly dragging Spider-Man to a huge hole that's been ripped in the floor by the beams of electricity. We now see New York City half a mile down the hole. We see Spidey being drawn across the hole. Then Roz comes flying in with a fire axe. Roz hacks away at the Waldo and chops it off. The stump withdraws. Ock examines it in pain and fury.
You are my teacher.
Roz doesn't even look back. He and Spidey are at the edge of the hole, and he's shaking Spidey furiously. Ock sends out his other Waldo and begins banging it on the floor in a frenzy on either side of Roz and Spidey. Like a child denied, he smashes his steel, fists against the floor, over and over again.
You're my teacher, and you want to destroy my experiment. You're a scientist, for heaven's sake. Don't you want to know what's up there?
Yes, but not on account of our world. We have only one world, only one life.
The floor begins to craze and then crack like ice around a hole in a pond. Bang, bang! Spidey comes to just the section of the floor beneath himself, and Rob gives away and falls through. Spidey holds onto the edge and dangles. He looks down and sees Rod falling away beneath him, disappearing into the dark.
Spider-Man, only you can save us now.
Roz! Murderer!
Forget that old fool insect. My Spider-Man. Come join me on my fantastic voyage to the seventh heaven.
The planets are virtually in line. Interior, Science Center, hallway, night. Liz comes running through it. A bolt of electricity shoots from the right and left in front of her. She slams on the brakes and runs the other way.
Peter!
Interior control room, night. The countdown clock is at 2 minutes, 59 seconds. Ock throws the power throttle to 98% power. He laughs and a web splats against his glasses. Spidey scrambles to his feet. Ock, still trying to get the web goo off his glasses, is slammed to the console by Spider-Man. Sparks fly and the Waldos flail blindly, smashing things. Ock tears off his glasses and squints through the fire and smoke and glare. Spider-Man whips the ceiling and swings into a drop kick. Ock recovers. He grabs Spidey and slam dunks him through the hole in the floor. Exterior, bottom of the building, night. Spider-Man falls through the air. He shoots up a web and thwips. It's sticking to the rocky bottom of the foundation. Ock appears in the hole. He sees Spidey's dilemma, hanging on a thread of web. A half-broken Waldo snakes down and clips the web. But the web sticks to the Waldo. Ock shakes it, but he can't get loose. Spider-Man shoots out another web at the rock bottom and, with the leverage, he pulls Ock out. Ock swings down in a wide arc and his Waldos catch onto the rock upside down. He holds on fiercely. Ock scrambles out to the side of the center and begins looking for an entry. Spider-Man is right on his tail. The beginning pitches sideways. Ock turns to face Spider-Man. His broken Waldo's out for battle. Spidey grabs an exposed pipe and breaks it off, brandishing it like a broadsword.
Let's have it, old boy.
A bizarre duel takes place. The center pitches this way and that. Spidey and Ock move from foothold to foothold, from window to ledge to parapet. Now the center pitches to a 45-degree angle. They duel upside down. A window grate crashes open and Liz comes flying out, holding onto the grate for dear life.
Liz!
Ock seizes the opportunity to whack Spidey across the head. Spidey loses his footing, but the building now lurches back and Liz goes flying back inside. Spidey ducks inside too and pulls the grate. Spider-Man uses his great strength to move a huge piece of scientific machinery in front of the grate.
Come on!
Where's Peter? He must be in here somewhere.
He's around. Don't worry, we'll find him.
Interior control room, night. The countdown clock is at 1 minute as Spidey comes flying in with Liz in tow.
This building is flying. I'm in a goddamn flying building.
I think we have to pull some of these cables. Try some of those over there. I'll work on these. We gotta slow this thing down somehow. We got helicopters coming.
Liz looks at some wiring, apprehensive about even touching it.
Pull.
She yanks out a cable. The building pitches, but then Spidey pulls one out and it rights itself. Science Center, night. The big beams start cutting out one by one. The center begins to pitch and yaw. The choppers are getting closer. The countdown clock reads 15 seconds as Spidey and Liz continue to pull wires and cables. Two Waldos erupt through the floor and grab Spidey. They pull Spider to the floor, entangled him in these molybdenum pythons. Spidey struggles valiantly. Liz leaps to his aid.
Oh my god.
A third Waldo, a broken one, snakes up from the hole and begins feeling blindly around the console for the power throttle.
The power!
Liz sees the damaged Waldo's heading for the red throttle. The countdown clock is at 10 seconds. Liz leaps and tries to wrestle it away. It whips her arms and she holds on tight. It bangs her against the wall, then the console. She holds on. 3 seconds. The Waldo crashes Liz against the wall, which erupts in sparks. She lets go of it. It heads for the power throttle. 1 second. Spider-Man can't break the grip of the Waldos, but he can pull with superhuman strength. He ganks Ock up to the stone floor. Ock hits the ceiling of the control room. One Waldo grabs on, the other one throws the red power throttle.
Spider-Man, your end is coming. Life in its present form is ending. No dimensions, no horizons.
Then the universal bullet begins to glow. The glow sharpens to a point of light, and Spider-Man holds on tight against the rushing energy flow that's pulling everything from the room towards the point of light.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Liz starts to slip away into the flow. She struggles against it.
I can't hold on. Ugh.
Spidey whips her and grabs her into the web.
Hold tight, Liz. Hold tight.
Ock drops calmly, beatifically, onto the floor of the room. He moves slowly, under his own power, into the light.
You got my power. There's too little power. It's so tiny, so tiny. There's only space for me. But I've done it, Spider-Man. I have broken through. I have broken through.
Don't do it, Dr. Octavius.
Okey dokey. Now that's what I call an experiment.
As he nears the light, he actually becomes a part of it. He irradiates light. He shimmers and shines. He sparkles like a skin of a killer. He fills the room with blinding light. Spidey and Liz shield their eyes, and as the light diminishes, the storm subsides. They're safe, except for the fact that they're in a floating building 10,000 feet above the city. Science Center, night. Against the badge arc of the moon, a squadron of helicopters approaches the center. From their POV, a huge crack opens across the face of the building. The center begins to drop, and pulsing surges. Spider-Man is at the console, pulling and putting back wires. Liz, fascinated, looks down at the window where Octus appeared.
I can't control her. She's dropping too fast. All right, let's go.
But what about Peter? We've got to find Peter.
Peter will be okay, I promise you. Let's go before it's too late.
Go where?
Exterior of the center, night. It rotates and drops. The helicopter come in like cavalry. Interior control room, night. Trying to leave it, Liz and Spidey are confronted with a nightmare. The room is tilted at a 45-degree angle. Pipes are bursting. Spidey helps Liz through the obstacles. Debris rains down. They come face to face with a diagonal maze of pipes.
Maybe there's another way.
A huge crack opens above them.
It's breaking apart.
All right, keep moving, a step at a time.
They scale the maze, but as they emerge on the other side, half the floor falls away. Central Park awaits, 8,000 feet below.
We have to go back.
We can't go back.
He looks across at the door. It is a midway up a diagonal wall. He shoots a web up at the ceiling between themselves and the door. Then he extends a hand to Liz.
Forget it.
Okay, have it your way.
He swings across and lands on the ledge of the door. Then he swings on the web back to her like a trapeze. Liz catches the web and looks across at Spider-Man furiously.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Go ahead. It's easier than it looks. We've got to try the fire escape.
Liz swings across like Tarzan and Spidey gathers her on the ledge. She does a comic whew, and the ledge buckles beneath them but holds. Spider-Man tries to hold the door, but it's stuck.
The door's stuck.
Just said that. Spider-Man bends his back to the task. It'll take all of his strength, but with a comic arg, he bids the door open. Fire door, night. They burst out into a rock foundation of the building. New Yorkers rushing up to meet them. The wind created by their fall buffets them. The helicopters arrive, and the falling buildings plunges right past them. The helicopters look at each other, helpless. It drops like a stone. Spidey and Liz are falling away from the door, sliding along a rock wall. Liz is stopping with stopped by a retaining wall. Spidey keeps sliding. He flips the wall and then disappears over the edge. Liz screams.
Ah!
Liz fights to her feet and then grabs onto the web stand. Strand. She pulls on it with all of her strength. She pulls and pulls and pulls. We see the web running up between the rocks. She gives one last pull and comes up with an empty web end. A long, long beat.
Liz, up here.
Liz looks up and sees Peter hanging out of a window 2 stories above her. He throws out a rope ladder. Liz grabs it. She begins to climb. Interior classroom, night. Peter pulls Liz through the window. There is no time for an embrace.
Come on. I found a way down.
I knew you were going to say that.
They run out of a room. We pan down and see, crumpled beneath the window, the Spider-Man suit. Interior, large physics lab. This is the lab we saw in the opening sequence. Peter has turned on the lights. They got a handful of rope.
Where's the way out?
Right there.
We are looking at the huge American flag.
Ooh.
Come on, Liz. Help me with this. Isn't it beautiful?
Liz is already down the rope ladder and is holding up for Peter. He comes down with a huge bundle of red, white, and blue. God,
Okay.
I'm so hard right now.
Stand at attention and stand still.
He ties some rope around her waist.
Is this going to work?
It's America. How do I know?
Of course it is.
I just adore confidence in a man.
Especially a white man.
Come on.
They move into the edge of the rock and look down. Central Park is still a couple of 1,000 feet down.
What is it you say when you jump?
America! They scream as the building launches again, knocking them to the ground. They start to slide across the rock. They reach out for each other, but their hands don't quite reach. Slowly, they inch back together, but the foundation cracks between them. The center, night. It spins and falls beneath us. Ooh. Down it goes, and then it crashes into the great lawn. A huge cloud of debris shoots upward. The sky, night. There's a beautiful full moon. Peter and Liz float down to the frame lit by the wonderful light. The American flag, which has turned into a giant parachute, they hold on to each other tight. They hear sirens below. They begin to laugh with relief. They stop. That wind billows up Liz's skirt and plays with Peter's hair. It snaps up the American flag.
We have a lot to thank your friend Spider-Man for.
Insert dialogue here.
Somehow, I don't think we've seen the last of him.
Peter, finders keepers.
What? What is it? Why do you look like that?
I think I'm in love
You are?
with your friend.
Spider-Man? You're in love with Spider-Man?
I am. You think we'll see him again?
We might. You never know.
He kisses her?
Oh, this may be the end of a beautiful friendship, you know.
Nah.
They land in the center of the park under the parachute. They stay there and kiss, completely covered by the flag. The camera pulls up slowly to show the building floating away. The end.
Hey there goes the Spider-Man.
Cinematic genius James Cameron, everybody.
Woo.
Oof.
Whew.
That was a ride.
Yeah.
You better
I never
take
thought I'd hear about.
some pictures down there, Parker.
Good old flag times.
Yes, sir.
Finally get to eat that carrot.
Oh.
Nice
I
and
just never
soft.
thought I'd have to hear about Spider-Man driving around and things as much as I did. in
Yeah.
this.
It reminded me of the
Like
1990
climax of
Captain
your show.
America
It's like,
movie.
yeah.
I don't
Like
think
this-
an MG can hold 4
No,
No.
drums.
They could barely hold
barrel
2.
drums of.
No. You can barely hold 2 people,
Yeah.
right? Like, what?
Where did he get more web? I thought he ran out. He spurted.
Where
Gizmo.
is the toxic dump?
It's Gizmos.
I
Or
thought they were
that was just his
organic
refractory
webs.
Details,
period.
details.
Yeah.
He had to build it back up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Refractory period. He went.
Yeah.
And he ate some bananas. And then...
Mm-hmm.
I had always read that
Beefed it
the
back
webs
up.
were organic in the James Cameron script, but they seem like they're the actual web shooters in this. are
Yeah.
they?
Seems like it.
Excuse me, Web Gizmo.
Web gizmo.
I thought it was just like the pages fell out of the script or something, and they're like, it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
don't worry about it.
I feel like this is the second one, and they already did a first one about how his stuff was invented.
He gets bit and then feels a little woozy for a minute, and,
And then all of a sudden he's fine.
I
he's fine. Yeah.
Well, no,
he's fine.
it is clearly the second one because there are essentially two writers listed. There's James Cameron, and then there's that pair of people. So
Yeah.
the pair of people wrote the first pass, and then
Right.
once they hired James Cameron on, he said,
To
"Here,
make it
Jim, you
better."
give it a pass." Yeah.
Oh, did he do?
Better.
He pulled a Crocodile Dundee. Did he just go through it and change the names?
Probably.
Like, that's why he could get on the script.
Named a character Wiener.
Did you notice all the weird spelling mistakes as well? He spelled Nobel Prize, Nobel
Noble,
Prize,
yeah.
Noble.
I saw Noble's been longer.
and he spells lose as loose, which I always think
Yeah.
is very like. This is a
Yeah, there
man
are a
who's
lot
like
of
one of the
those.
richest directors in the world, and he doesn't know how to spell lose. I don't know.
Oh.
There were a lot of problems. How about the fact that the word cock, dock, ock, cop,
Weird.
pop,
Pop.
they're all
Pow.
in there.
In the same sentence.
Whip.
I was
You
a
feel-
bit surprised though that there's a kernel of it still in Spider-Man 2 though, of Dr.
Yeah,
Octopus and
little
this,
bit.
this big machine and stuff. It's like
Kernel of it.
Sam
Sure.
Raimi's is like yoink, you know.
As long as they never call them Waldos again, I'll
Yeah,
be happy.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That is
I
the
thought
word
that
that's
too,
been
that-
used more in this entire thing than Waldo's.
They're
Word
fucking
count.
I read that
dude.
there's a-
They're arms.
I read that
Arms.
in another Spider-Man script that they also called them Waldos, and it had nothing to do with this movie. Or
What is a Waldo?
Just-
Is it
feel
an
like
actual
I
thing?
feel like
It
that was
is.
just
It's an
an
actual
in-joke 'cause
thing.
they
it's
Is it the
something you
thing in a-
manipulate that acts as arms.
right. Okay.
I know, like imagine Jim Cameron watching Spider-Man 2 and been like, "Where's Waldo's?"
Yeah, yeah.
Waldo
Yeah,
shows up
yeah.
There it is.
166 times in this script.
Oh.
That's
a little
bad. I'm glad I
disappointed.
wasn't mad.
I was a little disappointed that the word
Waldo's-
anti-force wasn't used
Oh,
quite
wait.
as much in the later half.
Yeah.
but,
I have to, I have to
You
divide
know,
that in
if
half
we
because of
all-
Jonathan. So that's only,
Right.
like 84.
Yeah.
For all the shit that we give Sam Raimi for the dancing in Spider-Man 3, it could have been
This
worse.
this
Yeah.
would have been so
Yeah,
bad.
It could have
there
been. It
was
could have been
Like, the whole
this.
story.
Full music. It
could've
could have
been
been,
this.
but like a bigger musical number.
Hmm.
I feel like
Here.
this could be that Sam Raimi has read the script and he was just like,
Yeah.
if no one's using it, I think
Oh,
I'm
there's
gonna-
definitely stuff. There's definitely stuff from this in the Raimi movies.
Finders
100%.
keepers.
The whole thing with the subway cars merging into the buildings and stuff. There's a little bit of that in Into the Spider-Verse. I feel like with the
Yeah, a lot of the cross
And the
universe.
blue laser light is in
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Having to have the New Yorkers help Spider-Man with shit. Like always, like,
Yeah.
Sure.
help me lift this. Like, fine.
But the
This is
whole thing
New-
with like
New
the
York.
dimensions merging and all that, it felt much more like a Fantastic Four.
yeah,
kind of
it's a
story than-
weird
Yeah, this
scheme for Doc Ock. It
this felt very ungrounded for
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Never
Yeah.
a tale of greater woe than two Spider-Men, Peter and Octo.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Find the show on Facebook and Twitter at Real Comic Heroes. All music and audio are the property of their respective creators.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get it all tonight.
You don't think so?
6 hours?
What?
It's gonna take 6 hours.
No. We're at
106.
of 148. We've only got
You're looking at a different number. No, I'm looking at 106 of. I'm in the. It says 107 of 296.
mine's I wonder if yours is copied or pasted twice cuz mine's 107 of 148.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Because I was like, there's no way you can get through 296 pages.
I bet if you scroll down,
Let me go. Yeah, that's weird. Dude, was it in there twice in the original?
I don't think so. Did you copy a script
Yeah.
and make your own?
Yeah, I just copied and pasted it.
I wonder if you pasted it twice.
How do I tell?
If you
I'm sorry, what did you say? What number? 170 what?
we're at 107 of
Right.
148.
148. Oh, you're right. Well, that makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, because at first, because you said 148, and then I was like, did he say 3? Did he say 290? Did he say 296? And I heard 148. Because I was like, there's no way. That's why I was like, you're clocking in at around 2 hours per 100.
Right.
Give or take.
Yeah.
No, you'll be fine. Never mind.
What?
Nothing. I'm saying you're a terrible voiceover.
Yeah, I know.
Can I just ask, did anyone else, like, is there a moment in the script where he discovers that he has the web powers? Or does it just...
No.
Nope.
It just
And
came
he
out of
really
nowhere,
hasn't done
didn't
any mourning for Uncle Ben either.
No.
Is there more?
none.
Is he ever gonna? Yeah. Or the fact that his Aunt May did like have a stroke after
yeah.
he
Oh,
died.
yeah. Yeah,
Nope,
no
none of that.
funeral, no I mean the weird like Doc Ock is Spider-Man.
No
And
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
the true Spider-Man.
Oh man. But yeah, no web swinging like development.
He just sort of does it.
Yeah.
It feels like it was designed to be kind of a big reveal in that scene that, oh yeah, he also can do this. But the way the script is written, it just sort of happens. You know, like,
Yeah.
was that supposed to be a big dramatic reveal, or I don't know?
It's kind of assuming like, oh, everyone knows Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole deal.
I thought
Well, that's what they do. They're like, he opens it up, and it's the Spider-Man costume.
I thought it was the trip to the sporting goods store that the web swinging came from somehow. That was
No,
because
I
otherwise
think that was just a
it comes out
disguise.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I know, but otherwise that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Suddenly he can swing on webs.
Rob,
It's almost like this would have been a bad movie.
yeah. Rob, your American accent is better than our American.
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel like I'm kind of. I started out trying to do a more high pitched Michael J. Fox thing. I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So it kind
Oh,
of
jeez, Doc.
it segued
Gee,
into
Doc.
Christopher Daniel Barnes / the
Yeah.
guy who does the PS1 voice for Spider-Man.
Did you make a anti-force machine out of a cyclotron?
Fios.
Yeah. I don't know. Harry
Pronounced
Osborn's-
Fiorst.
Harry Osborne's already kind of
Fiors, anti-Fiors, anti-Fiors.
So, what are our thoughts on splitting this thing up since we're 2 hours in and not even halfway through?
Well,
yeah,
we're halfway
we're-
through.
We're like
See, I
Are
think
we?
you did the same thing I
thirds
did.
of the way through.
Looking at page numbers, we're just a hair over.
The script is 148. Jonathan pasted his twice. You might have done the same thing.
Oh, so yeah. So
I didn't paste
okay.
it twice. Someone has it pasted twice.
I didn't paste it twice. I just copied what was there, and I'm like, this is a 300-page script. This is longer
Yeah,
than
it's
Titanic.
296. It's
Okay.
not. It's 148.
Okay.
We're almost
Cameron cut.
Yeah, we're at 107 right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's
We're
carry
good.
on.
Just talk faster, George.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. It should be
Yeah,
a minute a
sure.
page.
You're the one.
I'm
with
not
all
the one who
words.
takes 45 seconds to say Fiors.
I'm doing it dramatically.
You're nailing it, Niall.
All right.
All right. I think Harry and
Interior
Peter
broad-
said we got to talk
To
about
Rosamorph,
Professor.
yeah.
We'll kind of take it from there.